be rebounding, and particularly you could extend that out to offensive rebounding. How do you slow a team that likes to run? Don't allow them to get the boards, right? And then for me, the third one is actually just going to be physicality. I've really been racking my brain all morning, Dan, all day. We're now in the evening, and you can chime in on this. Do you think it is more taxing to run up and down the court untethered, but it's just a lot of mileage, a lot of speed, or to have to sit in a slower-paced game and deal with the physicality that the Knicks present?
I think the meat grinder would be more taxing, yeah.
Right. So to me, if the Knicks have the opportunity to set their defense, innately, they're going to be able to slow this pace. Now, the question is, will they have the opportunity to set their defense? So those are my three keys. Communication on defense, offensive rebounding, and then I think patience defensively.
That is the Knicks Keys to the Game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. Monica, I know you're ready. I'm ready. The fans are ready. We'll talk again in the postgame, but have a great call with Pat.
Thanks, Dan.
All righty, and we are just about done here on the Knicks pregame show. I will talk to you again coming up at halftime. But next, we will send it right back to Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. They have the call. It is Game 1, Round 2 of the best of 7 between the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. And New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSU Radio Network continues right after this timeout. Enjoy the game, everybody.
This has been the New York Knicks pregame show. Get ready. New York Knicks basketball is coming right up. Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit GrandMarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
NBA fans looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Are you ready?
Runs up top, Hart. Wide open, three-pointer, fires away, knocks it down. Josh Hart puts the Knicks up by 3.
New York Knicks basketball is on the air.
Rebounded by Hart, dribbles out of traffic. Knicks win. Knicks win the series in 6, and the Knicks are advancing to round number 2.
The New York Knicks. Are you ready?
That's the thing I love about our team. It's a team, and they're fighters. They don't stay down.
Knicks basketball starts right now. Live from Madison Square Garden for the Eastern Conference semifinals. It's Game 1. The Knicks versus the Pacers. Now, here's Monica McNutt. And with the play-by-play, here's Pat O'Keefe on the MSG Radio Network.
And for fans of a certain age, the playoff rivalry with the Indiana Pacers stirs a lot of emotion. Moments in these games provided by Patrick Ewing and Larry Johnson live on in Knicks history forever, as do different types of moments. Those authored by the likes of Reggie Miller. And for the first time in 11 years, the Knicks and Pacers are back on the same postseason stage. And we welcome you to that stage. Pat O'Keefe and my partner Monica McNutt. Madison Square Garden, the site. Welcome to round 2. Monica, the Knicks have had 3 days off to regroup and to refocus after eliminating the 76ers, and this is the next step of their playoff journey beginning tonight.
One of the things that should carry over, though, Pat, should be the total team effort mindset of this group. They got tremendous production out of Josh Hart through that series, and Isaiah Hartenstein emerged as a little bit of an offensive hub, which was great to see. We know that if this team is going to continue to move forward, it's going to require all of them.
Contrasting styles between the Pacers and the 76ers from last round. Indiana, the highest scoring team in the regular season, second highest scoring in the playoffs. So how do the Knicks combat this Tyrese Halliburton-led attack?
Well, it's going to be with their Knicks defense and rebounding. This has been a top 5 rebounding team all season long, and particularly when you look at offensive rebounding, they've been one of the best in the league. That's the quickest way to thwart a team that's looking to play fast and run off of makes or misses.
Game number 1 of round 2 at Madison Square Garden. Crowd into it, and we haven't even gotten to tip-off. First, let's send it down courtside to Garden public address announcer Mike Wolszewski.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals in the 2024 NBA playoffs. Tonight's matchup features the Indiana Pacers and your New York Knicks, presented by Chase Freedom Unlimited. At this time, we ask that if you are able, please rise, remove your hats here to present our nation's colors. Please welcome the Fire Department of New York. And now, here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome 3-time Grammy-winning vocalist and native New Yorker, Samara Joy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. That our flag was still there. Oh, send us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Samara Joy.
Almost that time to start round number 2 here at the Garden. Your starting lineups, the Pacers, 47-35 during the regular season, including the playoffs, 22-22 on the road. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games in round 1. Tyrese Halliburton, 6'5", fourth-year point guard out of Iowa State, an all-star the last 2 seasons, and the NBA's leader in assists at 10.9 per game during the regular season. Andrew Nembhard, 6'4", second-year man out of Gonzaga, made 47 starts during the regular season. The Pacers were 30-17 when he started. In round 1, he averaged just under 14 points a game. Aaron Nesmith, 6'6", fourth year out of Vanderbilt, a first-round pick of the Celtics in 2020, but he has found a home in Indiana. This year, 13th in the NBA, shooting 41.9% from behind the three-point line. Pascal Siakam, 6'8", eighth year out of New Mexico State, a two-time All-Star with Toronto. He was acquired in a trade on January 17th and has averaged 21.3 points a game as a Pacer. And in the middle, Miles Turner, 6'11", ninth year out of Texas. 19.2 points per game in round one. In 3 games against the Knicks this season, he averaged 18 points and shot 8 for 10 on three-pointers. And the head coach of the Pacers is Rick Carlisle. His 22nd season as an NBA head coach. He is the 12th winningest head coach in NBA history with 943 regular season wins. And the Knicks, 50-32, and including the playoffs, now 29-15 here at Madison Square Garden. Led by Jalen Brunson, 6'2", 6'year, out of Villanova. 35.5 points per game, the leading scorer so far in the NBA playoffs. He is coming off 3 straight 40-point performances, including 41 in the closeout win in Philly last week. Dante DiVincenzo, 6'5", 6'year, out of Villanova. His best game of round one came in Game 6 when he scored 23 points and played terrific defense on Sixers star Tyrese Maxey. Josh Hart, 6'4", in his 7th year out of Villanova. He hit that tie-breaking three-pointer with 25 seconds left in Game 6 that put the Knicks ahead for good and allowed them to wrap up the first-round series. OG Anunoby, 6'7", 7th year out of Indiana, 15 points a game in round one, and the Knicks are 24-5 when Anunoby suits up. Then in the middle, Isaiah Hartenstein, 7'1", 6th year from Germany. In round one, averaged 10.3 points per game and had his first 3 double-digit scoring games of his postseason career, and the Knicks are coached by Tom Thibodeau. The first-round win over the 76ers, his 6th career playoff series victory as a head coach. So there you go, Knicks and Pacers, round 2, game number 1, coming right up. Monica, let's talk more about that first-round series by Jalen Brunson. This season, an All-Star for the first time. He just completed what should be an All-NBA regular season. He continues to reach new heights, coming in, as mentioned, as the NBA's leading playoff scorer at nearly 36 points a game.
All Jalen Brunson has done at every point of his career is find ways to win. And I think the Knicks obviously have been a tremendous beneficiary of that. But one wrinkle I will submit to our listening audience, Pat, just because he has been ball dominant and has to be the hub for this New York Knicks team, it does not mean that he is unwilling to pass the basketball. And I think in the national conversation, as we were preparing for this matchup, that went a little underappreciated. He had double-doubles multiple times in the last series, and that means he was willing to assist the basketball. In fact, I do believe that is why the Knicks have found this level of success. His teammates being able and willing to knock down shots to relieve some of the pressure from their star point guard.
Brunson's last 4 games in that series, he averaged 41 points per game. But to your point, Monica, for the entire series, he averaged 9 assists per game as well. The opening tip is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Our crew chief tonight is Zach Zarba, Brooklyn, New York native. He works with Tyler Ford and Sean Wright. That is the officiating crew. The Knicks, in their association edition uniforms, they're home white with New York in orange across the chest. The Pacers are wearing their yellow statement edition uniforms with Indiana in navy block lettering across their chest. It'll be Hartenstein and Turner to jump it up. Tap is controlled by the Knicks into the hands of DiVincenzo, and the Eastern Conference semifinals are underway here at Madison Square Garden. Halliburton guarding Josh Hart to begin. Brunson pops free off the screen near the top of the arc. Has the ball in a behind-the-back dribble. Nembhard guarding Brunson to begin. Shot clock down to 7. Brunson working from the right side. Turns his back to the defender. Fall away from the baseline. Rattles home, and the Knicks are on the board first.
The patience and the footwork of Jalen Brunson on display early.
Pacers start 2-point guard. Nembhard along with Halliburton. Halliburton gives it back to Nembhard just inside the midcourt line. Brunson is guarding Nembhard. Bounce pass, high post for Turner. Fakes the shot, gives it back to Nembhard. Inside the paint, blocked from behind, and taken away by DiVincenzo. Knicks looking to push. Here's Hart on the right side. Shovel pass. Hartenstein slams it home, running the 4-0 Knicks.
Pace, they said they wanted. Pat, pace is what they said they wanted.
The block leading to the dunk. Knicks with the first 4 points. Halliburton split pass. Turner's foul line jumper. Front rim rolls around no good, but it's tapped up and in by Aaron Neesmith. The Pacers on the board for the first time. 4-2. Quieting the crowd ever so slightly here. Hart between the circles. I post for Hartenstein, hands it back to Brunson, curls right side, flip pass inside Hartenstein, inside the paint, one dribble, finds Anunoby, left corner 3, front rim no, rebound scooped up by the Pacers, looking to push. Nembhard outlet pass to Halliburton, up top for Siakam. Siakam goes left with the dribble, gives to Nembhard on the left wing, back up top, Siakam doesn't look at the basket, now Halliburton left wide open after a pump fake knocks down the 3, and the Pacers lead 5-4.
Tyrese Halliburton comes into this one shooting less than 30% from the three-point line in the first series of this postseason.
36% for downtown during the regular season. 5 straight for the Pacers. Here's Anunoby inside the paint. Siakam poking at the ball. Those two former teammates in Toronto. DiVincenzo drives, reverse layup too strong. Rebounded by Siakam. He brings it up himself, drives right at Anunoby inside the paint, picks up his dribble, kicks it out. Neesmith left corner pass, Nembhard open for 3 is good. 8 straight for the Pacers. They lead 8-4.
Now that was a play that should be credited all to Pascal Siakam. He attacked the paint. He forced the Knicks to collapse in terms of help, and then it's the hockey assist as he sends that ball out to the perimeter.
Here's Brunson on the right wing, Nembhard guarding him, bounce pass, cross court to Hart on the left, and hands it back to DiVincenzo. Right elbow, Hartenstein has it now, back to the basket, guarded by Turner. Hartenstein, one dribble, backdoor cut for Brunson, his floater comes up short, taps it up, and he draws the foul on the follow attempt. The foul against Pascal Siakam.
4 seconds to go on the shot clock, and Jalen Brunson bursts into that backdoor cut, and we know how much of a willing passer Isaiah Hartenstein is. A great find.
First foul of the game for either team off the inbound. Brunson right waiting for Hart. 9:15 to go in the first. Knicks trailing 8-4. Anunoby step back. Foul line jumper. In and out. Hartenstein taps the rebound, but into the hands of Halliburton. Quickly into the front court is Halliburton. Hartenstein cuts him off, steps back, thinks about the 3. Into the far right corner, it's Nembhard. They work it around back up top and into the hands of Halliburton again on the left wing. He's still matched up with Hartenstein. Between the legs dribble a couple of times. Good defense by Hartenstein. Shot clock is down to 5. Halliburton flips 2 defenders, kicks it out. Siakam, left side three-pointer, air ball. Halliburton, the rebound, scoops it up and in. No basket. The shot clock had already expired.
Between the shot clock expiring, and it looks like Halliburton got a foot on the baseline on that one, but the basket no good. Terrific defensive possession. Isaiah Hartenstein undeterred, having to guard the much smaller and quicker Halliburton out on the perimeter.
On 2 different occasions during that sequence. 8-4 Knicks trail, coming up on 8.5 to play in the first. Brunson from the foul line, backing in on Nembhard, steps back, 12-footer is good, and the Knicks trail 8-6.
Nembhard is probably a welcome change of pace guarding Brunson, at least being a guy that's closer to his height.
As opposed to the much taller Kelly Oubre from last series. Hart pokes the ball away from Siakam, scooped up by Brunson. Here come the Knicks, coast to coast. Brunson lays it up and draws the foul against Aaron Neesmith.
Well, let me find out. JB was trying to get a little fancy on him with the one hand. Now, we know it is a rare sighting for him to go up and grab the rim, but he tantalized this Garden crowd for a minute.
Playing like a big man so far. He had a tip putback attempt before in which he drew the foul. So here's Brunson to the free throw line. First time this series. The customary chance of MVP. They quiet down to let Brunson go to work, and he knocks down the first free throw. Brunson now with 5 of the Knicks' first 7 points. They trail 8-7 with 8:10 to go first quarter.
Now, partner, Tyrese Halliburton has been guarding Josh Hart. I wonder if that will be an opportunity for him to look to be a little bit more aggressive.
Here's Brunson, his second. Knocks it down. 6 points for Brunson, and we're all tied at 8. Halliburton into the front court. Brunson picks him up. Nembhard left open on the block. Up top pass. Turner, three-pointer, no good. Brunson, the rebound, looks to push. Has DiVincenzo on the right wing. Brunson brings it left-hand side. Hartenstein sets him a screen over there. Brunson, crossover dribble, step back, steps into the defender. He got Nembhard off his feet and draws the foul.
When I had the opportunity to sit down with Brunson for our project for DoorDash, he talked about his scouting reports mentally checking whether a guy is considered a rookie or a veteran in the league. and knowing what moves he can go to get some of the younger guys off balance and get the reward that he's looking for.
Andrew Nembhard, a second-year player out of Gonzaga, started his collegiate career at Florida. Brunson getting him to leave his feet. First free throw is good, and the Knicks are back on top, 9-8.
And for those wondering, no, Jalen Brunson did not travel when he drew that foul from the three-point line.
It was also very close to being a three-point attempt. His foot was just inside the line. So 2 free throws awarded to Brunson. The second one is also good. He's off to a good start. Knicks lead 10-8. Brunson has 8 of their points. Halliburton, front court, left side, back up top. Siakam left open, fires straight on 3, in and out. Brunson the rebound. Nembhard picks him up in the front court, has to run around a Hartenstein screen. Brunson brings it left side to the block, off the glass and in. He's got 10. Knicks lead 12-8. In the front court, it's Nembhard on the right wing. Crossover dribble inside the paint. Stops in a dotted circle, blocked by Hart. Picked up by Anunoby. Hart in the front court now. Brings it to the center of the court, inside the paint, leaves it for Hartenstein. His floater comes up short. Turner the rebound.
Isaiah Hartenstein, you're about to be limited on those floaters. Let's rock the rim, brother.
Here's Neesmith driving the lane around Anunoby, no good, but Hartenstein grabs the rebound in traffic. DiVincenzo has it right wing. Crossover dribble towards the foul line. Left side pass for Hart. Into the far corner, nobody home. He was looking for Anunoby, but it goes out of bounds off the Knicks.
Knicks so far doing a really good job defensively of matching up with the Pacers. One thing that I have noticed the last couple of possessions for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton gets this second step, right? He crosses half court coolly, sees that the Knicks are set up, but then he explodes into what looks like an attack toward the paint just to see how the Knicks defense reacts. The last time he kicked the pass back from right between the 2 arcs in the paint back to Pascal Siakam at the top of the key, who actually had a clean look at 3. He just didn't connect.
Defensively, the Knicks also with 2 block shots from behind already here in the first quarter. Halliburton between the circles, guarded again by Hartenstein on a switch. Right wing Neesmith driving on DiVincenzo, bottled up and fouled, and Neesmith will get himself to the free throw line.
Defensively, it looks like head coach Tom Thibodeau is living with this team switching so far. We've seen Miles Turner being guarded by Josh Hart. We've seen Isaiah Hartenstein guarding Tyrese Halliburton on the perimeter. So far, they've done a good job of communicating. That probably is a stop, if not for Dante DiVincenzo's itch to reach.
Just the first foul against DiVincenzo and the Knicks. It'll send Neesmith to the free throw line. It also brings us to a timeout on the floor with 6:42 to go in the first quarter. The Knicks leading the Pacers 12-8 here in game number 1. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
If you ever volunteer to coach, mentor, tutor, or just be a positive role model to kids or young people, why not make a career of it? Become a youth development specialist where you will supervise and support young people in detention. It's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary, and you'll be making a positive impact on the lives of young New Yorkers. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS. That is nyc.gov/YDS.
Back here at the Garden, 6:42 to go first quarter. Knicks a 12-8 lead over the Pacers. A quick start, Monica, for Jalen Brunson. 10 of the 12 Knicks points so far. 3 for 4 from the field as the Knicks are off to a good start on both ends of the floor.
I won't say that I'm surprised, but if I had to pick which side of the basketball they needed to be locked in on to start this series more, it definitely would be the defensive side. We trust their repetitions in the gym. Shots are eventually going to fall. But I think the defensive constitution early, we've watched them be willing to live with switching. We've watched guys guard positions that are either smaller or bigger, whatever that mismatch may have been, and they've been on the glass so far in this one, partner. So they've got 5 rebounds in this one, being out-rebounded just by 1 by the Pacers. So far, the defensive continuity and the focus that needs to be there is on display.
One interesting defensive alignment early on, 2 separate times. Isaiah Hartenstein has gotten switched on to Tyrese Halliburton, and he has held his own each time.
It's an interesting strategy because obviously Isaiah Hartenstein is not going to push up on Halliburton as a ball handler. But he did a really good job of giving just enough distance where his length and his size was a deterrent from Halliburton trying to get a head full of steam to attack the paint. Now, the other part of that, though, is Halliburton was already operating on the three-point line. And so often when he gets ahead of his defenders, he's hitting that second gear, immediately crossing half court.
Pacers at the free throw line for the first time. And Aaron Nesmith hits the first. Obi Toppin, former Knick first-round draft pick, has checked in for the first time for Indiana, as has T.J. McConnell. Those two were huge off the bench in the Pacers' Game 6 closeout win last Thursday against the Bucks, as Nesmith hits both free throws, and the Knicks lead 12-10. McConnell, the backup point guard, guarding Brunson. They give it to Hart on the right wing. Halliburton guarding Hart still. Hartenstein holding at the top of the arc. Brunson gets free as McConnell fell down. Now he recovers. Inside pass. Hartenstein up top. Hart fakes the open 3. Down the lane. Jump stop. Floats it up and in off the back of the rim, and it's 14-10 Knicks.
My heart dropped a little bit because I wanted to see if Josh Hart was going to keep that hot three-point shooting.
Here's McConnell getting inside the paint. On the right baseline, picks up his dribble. Now in the far corner, it's Nesmith. Up top for Turner. Toppin working from the left wing. One dribble, hands it to Halliburton. Shot clock down to 6. Halliburton trying to elude DiVincenzo. Steps back. Toppin fakes the 3 from the left corner. Fires again and knocks it down. And Obi Toppin good on his first attempt.
A familiar face here in the Garden.
14-13. Knicks lead by 1. Brunson looking to answer with a 3 of his own. It comes up short, and Toppin grabs the rebound. Quick outlet to Halliburton. He's into the front court. Finds Toppin right wing, left wide open. Too strong on the 3. Hart pulls down the rebound. Quick outlet pass to Brunson. Knicks looking to go. Brunson has McConnell trailing him. Stops at the foul line. Kicks it back to Hart, left side of the arc. Hands to Anunoby, and now Hartenstein high post. 5:20 to go in the first. Knicks lead by a point. Brunson curling around the screen. DiVincenzo right side deep 3 off the mark. Hartenstein back taps the rebound. Scooped up by Brunson. Right corner Anunoby. Between the legs dribble against Toppin. Step back, pump fake, step through, blocked by Toppin, and taken off the backboard. Outlet pass to Halliburton.
Tremendous second effort there by Obi Toppin.
Halliburton steps into the three-pointer left side, in and out. Hartenstein grabs the rebound. Knicks still lead 14-13. Here's Hart quickly the other way. To the right wing. Picked up by McConnell. High post lob pass for Hartenstein. Hartenstein gives it right back to Hart on the right wing. 10 seconds to shoot. 4:45 in the quarter. Hart one-on-one on the right side with McConnell. One dribble, pull-up three-pointer, knocks it down.
It felt like Jalen Brunson was, it didn't feel. He was in fact telling Isaiah Hartenstein to go to Josh Hart and telling Josh Hart to be aggressive.
Aggressive he was, knocking down the 3. Nesmith's 3 is no good. Knicks lead 17-13 as Hart grabs the rebound and brings it up court. Drives right at Turner, right around Turner. Reverse layup is good, and the Knicks lead by 6. A little timeout, Indiana.
A little Josh Hart run, shall we? Heart of the city, pumping orange and blue bud into the Garden.
5 straight points for Josh Hart, and the Knicks have opened up an early 19-13 lead, their largest of the game so far. Comes with 4:18 to go in the first quarter. Timeout Pacers. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Open Road BMW. Come visit their newly constructed state-of-the-art BMW dealership, conveniently located on Route 1 in Edison, New Jersey. Here you'll find over 7 acres of new and certified pre-owned BMWs ready for immediate delivery. If you need world-class service, their 50 service bays and the convenience of over 100 customer loaner cars are at your service. For an exceptional BMW buying experience of one of the Tri-State's largest BMW facilities, visit OpenRoadBMW.com.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is playing the loosest slots, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games, all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Bethlehem is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years of age. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sports fans, take your game day snack to a whole new level. Cibao Meat Products Jamoneta Campesino Salami, the MVP of flavor. Whether you're cheering for touchdowns or slam dunks, this Hispanic-style salami is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Made with the finest ingredients and packed with zesty spices, Jamoneta Campesino Salami delivers a burst of savory goodness in every bite. Score big with Cibao Meat Jamoneta Campesino Salami. Available at your local supermarket. Remember, if you see our logo from the start, put it in your shopping cart. Cibao Meat Products, over half a century of tradition and quality.
I'm a New Yorker. I want to contribute to public safety.
I want a 6-figure salary.
I want to get paid after I retire.
I want to take my kids on vacation.
New York City Department of Correction officer jobs are available now for strong, brave, bold New Yorkers with problem-solving and communication skills. Most earn more than $85,000 in their first year. Register today. Search the words City Exams on your phone, click, then scroll to Correction Officer.
Want to serve with a purpose? Take the test. Join, discover New York City Corrections. Take the test.
Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN-FM, New York.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you for round 2, game number 1. 2 members of the Knicks' last championship team together on Garden Vision right now. Monica, our own Walt Clyde Frazier, along with Bill Bradley, Knicks luminaries throughout the Garden as they have been throughout the postseason. But the current Knicks on a 15-5 run. They've opened a 19-13 lead, and the last 5 of those points courtesy of Josh Hart.
I said to you, he's being guarded largely by T.J. McConnell. There's an opportunity there. And I'm not going to, don't quote me that all 3 of his last buckets came versus O'Connell, but you were wondering if the activity of Josh Hart, from a guy that averaged 9.4 to 16 points in the first matchup with the Sixers, you were wondering if that aggressiveness on offense would show up, and it looks like it has arrived just on time.
Pacers ball out of the timeout. Toppin stops his dribble at midcourt. Hands the ball back to McConnell. Here's Halliburton coming off a curl. Floater from just inside the foul line. Comes up short, but a late whistle and a foul called against the Knickerbockers.
Isaiah Hartenstein raises his hand in that one. It looks like it's on the rebound attempt as Isaiah Jackson is trying his best to get an offensive rebound for the Pacers. Isaiah Hartenstein's kind of got his left arm across him.
Jackson got good position. 6'9", third-year man out of Kentucky who just checked in for the first time. So the foul to Hartenstein. McConnell whips the pass into the right corner. Toppin off a pump fake, drives off Alex Floater, comes up short. Rebound tap taken by Jackson. Neesmith finds Halliburton right side. Between the legs, step back dribble. DiVincenzo staying with him. High post, Toppin at the foul line, right corner. McConnell left wide open, lines up a 3, knocks it down. The Knicks lead 19-16.
Josh Hart looked at McConnell in the corner, opted not to attempt to close out.
Correct that last bucket. His foot was on the line, Monica. It's a 2. The score is 19-15 Knicks. Hartenstein at the high post. Deuce McBride has checked in. Hartenstein hands to Brunson, left wing, one-on-one with Jackson. Underneath, Hartenstein blocked and also fouled. A late whistle is called against the Pacers as Hartenstein went up for the dunk on Neesmith.
So a couple things to keep in mind over the course of this ball game. T.J. McConnell is locking and trailing, face guarding. He is on Jalen Brunson like socks on your heels. And in his attempt to get around a screen at the top of the key that Isaiah Hartenstein set, he stumbled a bit. Rick Carlisle was pretty hot on the sideline. He wants the officials to be mindful of the screens and watch how hard McConnell is working. Now, the other part of that, though, partner, is Jalen Brunson going to spend all night trying to run around and get free of T.J. McConnell?
Jalen Brunson so far with 10 points. Most of those came early. Hartenstein good on the first free throw. Second one is also good. Hartenstein coming off a terrific offensive round one in which he averaged over 10 points per game. Knicks lead 21-15, equaling their largest of the night. Neesmith left wing, 3:05 to go in the first. Neesmith into the right corner for Toppin. Turns, drives the lane, kicks it left corner. McConnell passing on the open three. Stops his dribble at the left elbow, gives it back to Toppin. 3 seconds to shoot. Toppin rolling to the basket, shovel pass inside. Jackson misses from point-blank range, knocked out of bounds off of his leg.
To a degree, it feels like the Pacers are hunting matchups that they want to get in the half court.
Nice hand here, Monica, for Mitchell Robinson, making his first appearance of the series off the bench, replacing Hartenstein.
This is where the conversation about conditioning begins to pick up, because the Pacers don't hide basically almost full-on line changes.
Siakam back in, so is Ben Shepherd, a rookie out of Belmont for the first time. Knicks with the ball, leading by 6, 2:35 to go in the first. Brunson working, pulling up over McConnell, too strong off the back of the rim. Toppin skies for the rebound. Outlet pass for McConnell, picked up by Brunson in the front court, crosses over right around him to the basket and lays it in with the right hand.
Pascal Siakam was posting up Miles Deuce-McBride in the paint, and he created that lane for McConnell to attack.
Siakam, the only Pacers starter on the floor right now. DiVincenzo drives around him. His shot was altered inside by Jackson. Off the rebound, McConnell has it in the front court, leaves his feet, finds Jackson underneath. Robinson runs into him and fouls him with 2:04 to go in the first. It's the third team foul against the Knicks.
So I feel like the pace has picked up with McConnell and Shepherd on the floor as the double guard combo.
OG Anunoby checking back in, and Precious Achiuwa has checked in for the first time. Monica answering one of the pressing questions coming into this series. Would Tom Thibodeau go to an 8-man rotation?
And this matchup is a good one for Precious Achiuwa, in addition to the fact that the Pacers go so deep.
Achiuwa's matched up on Toppin. Brunson has gone to the bench. McConnell driving on McBride. Stops at the block. Turn around in the paint, no good. Jackson's doing a good job fighting for the offensive board, but it's taken away by Achiuwa. Outlet pass to Hart, who brings it across the timeline. Hart, McBride, Achiuwa, Robinson, and Anunoby on the floor for the Knicks. Anunoby left wing, back up top for Achiuwa. Now Hart on the right side. Couple dribbles with the right hand. McBride, quick release three is off the front of the rim. Jackson the rebound.
McBride doesn't have the necessary legs under that one for me.
Here's Siakam driving at Hart, poked away. Recovers at the top of the arc. Tries to drive again from the left side. Fall away jumper. No good, off target. Hart grabs the rebound. His third.
Obi Toppin's kind of hanging out in the paint.
Hart drives right around Toppin. Leaves his feet. Finds Anunoby. Right side three is good. And the Knicks lead 24-17. Quick outlet pass for Shepherd. Hart breaks it up. It is stolen by Achiuwa. Here come the Knicks with 1:05 to go. Achiuwa down the lane. Knocked out of his hands, but also a foul as Obi Toppin falls to the floor. Precious Achiuwa forced getting himself to the line.
Josh Hart, credit obviously for the assist statistically, and should get credit for the steal, although he's the guy that actually deflected that pass so that Pascal Siakam could pick it up. But what a heads-up play by him, because Ben Shepherd was off to the races. He was doing what has been indicative of the Pacers all season, and if not for the hustle and the heart by Josh Hart to come across from the left side of the floor over to the right side to break up that pass, it probably is a basket for the Pacers.
Precious Achiuwa, a 64% free throw shooter during the regular season, well short on the first attempt. One more coming. Knicks lead 24-17, minutes to go in the first. Achiuwa makes the second, so the Knicks lead is 8. Here's McConnell, shadowed by McBride. Crosses over towards the center. Kicks it out. Shepherd, quick release three from the right side is good, and the Knicks lead is 25-20.
Shepherd shot 50% from three in that first series for the Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are high on this young man. Belmont is a school that is respected for the basketball IQ of the athletes that come from that university.
Clock stopped for a moment to reset the game clock at 56.7 seconds. That's the time remaining in the first quarter. McBride into the front court. guarded by McConnell. Robinson at the top of the arc comes to set him the screen. McBride brings it right side, picked up by Jackson on a switch. McConnell recovers. McBride, turnaround from the right baseline, too strong. Rebound tapped and taken by Siakam. Bounce pass ahead for Jackson, runs the floor and slams it home with two hands, and the Pacers back within 3.
This is why shot selection is magnified in this matchup.
Here's Hart getting a step, coast to coast, reverse layup is good. Knicks lead by 5. Josh Hart has 9 points. There's your answer. That was pretty good shot selection.
Fantastic. Right at the gut of the defense.
20 seconds to go in the quarter, 14 on the shot clock. Difference of about 6 seconds. McConnell side to side dribbling on the Knicks logo. Crosses over against McBride. 14-foot is good just inside the foul line. 11 seconds to go. Knicks with the quick inbound. 27-24. Shot clock is off. Hart guarded by Shepard. 5 seconds now. Hart one-on-one with Shepard. Uses the Robinson screen. Poked out of his hands and out of bounds with 1.5 seconds to play as Jalen Brunson runs to the scorer's table to check back in for this final possession.
With Deuce McBride unable to get the basketball, you don't have a true ball handler in space that you trust to execute prior to that possession. I understand the urgency to get Jalen Brunson in on the floor to get a quality look here with 1.5 to go.
Brunson replaces Achua. Hart standing directly across from Brunson, who inbounds to Anunoby, turns, fires a fall-away three-pointer, no good, on target, off the front of the rim, and the first quarter comes to an end with the Knicks leading by 3.
Josh Hart, to me, is the story of this first quarter, even though it started as if it would be the Jalen Brunson story. We saw the depth of the Pacers on display already in this one, and for the most part, the Knicks did a really good job of matching the pace, but we saw a couple of not-so-great shots that led to Pacers run-out.
Started as a Jalen Brunson quarter. In fact, it was his 9th quarter with at least 10 points. That is tied with Joel Embiid and Donovan Mitchell for the playoff lead so far. Speaking of leads, the Knicks have the lead, 27-24 at the end of the first quarter here at Madison Square Garden. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
It all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
Made it!
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get 0% APR financing on a new 2024 Nissan Altima SR VC Turbo. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. For well-qualified buyers, subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. See dealer for financing details. Ends June 3rd, 2024. New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Back here at Madison Square Garden, we get set for the start of the second quarter. The Knicks leading the Pacers 27-24. Introduced to the crowd right now, Monica, Larry Johnson, who was responsible for one of the most memorable moments in the history of the playoff rivalry between these two teams, his 4-point play in the Eastern Conference Finals back in 1999. So many of those memories flooding back to Knicks fans in advance of this series that began here tonight.
The combo leading into this one, Pat, like, Knicks fans, national media, obviously Pacers fans. I saw Reggie Miller had an interview. Lots of shades and odes to the history between these two teams. Even our terrific television producer, Spencer, is like, they can't lose game one. That's what happened in 2012, 2013.
Yep. They lost game one, and they were chasing it the rest of the series, losing in 6 games. Knicks leading game one right now, 27-24. As the second quarter is underway, T.J. McConnell, cross-court pass. Shepard tries another three and knocks that one down, and the rookie has come on and knocked down 2 of them, and we're tied at 27. An inbound pass nearly stolen away by McConnell, but he couldn't keep it in bounds. It'll go back to the Knicks.
So we talked about the Knicks being willing to switch on screens, but Ben Shepard comes from the left corner and ends up on the right wing. He runs off of 3 screens, and there's a little bit of confusion on the last one in particular. Precious Achiuwa thought there was going to be a switch, but there wasn't.
And Shepard only played in 2 of the 6 games in round 1, has already made an impact here in the beginning of game 1, round 2. Robinson, top of the arc, 1 dribble, hands to Anunoby. Knicks begin the second quarter with Brunson still on the bench. Anunoby left wing, Shepard cuts him off. Shot clock is down to 6. Anunoby backing his way in, turns and is blocked away by Jackson. Picked up by Nembhard. McConnell, bounce pass, right corner Shepard, gives it back to Nembhard, underneath pass Jackson, and he's fouled by McBride with 11:13 to go in the second.
As we sit at the score tied at 27, we're watching the Pacers' speed. Deuce McBride has the right idea, but the Pacers move so quickly in the half court that although he was going to the right place, he wasn't there in time to get the steal.
McBride to the bench, replaced by Brunson. McConnell pull-up 12-foot jump shot is no good. Robinson grabs the rebound. That's his first. So Brunson back in the game at 10 points in the first quarter. Uses the Robinson screen, gives it a Hart on the right wing, and now Anunoby. Working right side, Anunoby one-on-one with Nembhard. Crossover dribble towards the right elbow. Backing his way in the paint again. Turns around a couple of times, knocked out of his hands and taken by Nembhard. Nembhard into the front court. McConnell, right corner, Siakam. Guarded by Achiuwa. McConnell now on the baseline, lays it up with the left hand. No. Follow is good, and the foul as Jackson is good on the putback.
It feels like Mitchell Robinson might be a step slow. Although this time he gets tied up with Isaiah Jackson because he goes for the block on the baseline penetration by T.J. McConnell.
So Jackson trying to finish the three-point play. The foul against Mitchell Robinson. And he's already got 2 and heads right back to the bench, replaced by Hartenstein. Tom Thibodeau was asked about Robinson's role in this series with the media before the game because outside of Miles Turner, not really a traditional big center. And Tom Thibodeau crediting Mitchell Robinson's quick feet for his ability to adapt.
He's always praising Robinson for his footwork.
Free throw is missed. Anunoby grabs the rebound. Brunson into the front court. Minute and a half gone by in the second. Knicks trail by 2. Anunoby between the circles, guarded by Siakam. High post goes to Hartenstein. Fakes the handoff to Brunson. Now bounces it to him on the right wing. Brunson working against McConnell from the foul line. 1 second to shoot. Has to fire it up. Front rim can't get the roll. Good box out and rebound by Jackson. Nembhard. Left side of the arc. Back to Jackson on the right wing. Now it's Shepard. Back up top for Nembhard. Swinging around McConnell left wing. Brunson guards McConnell. 1 dribble. High post pass Siakam. Back out for Nembhard. Tries to drive on Hart. His pass poked away. Recovered by Shepard. 4 seconds to shoot. Nembhard from the right wing. From the dotted circle. Fall away jumper. Can't get the roll. Siakam. The offensive rebound around Anunoby. His fall away jumper is no good off the front of the rim. And a foul against the Knicks inside against Hartenstein.
Isaiah Jackson has really been mixing it up and creating some issues for the Knicks by his presence around the rim.
9:45 to go second quarter. Knicks still haven't scored in the period. They trail 29-27, and they've already picked up 3 team fouls.
Well, on the flip side, they've limited the Pacers to just 2 so far.
Pacers with 4 offensive rebounds. 1 for the Knicks. That was such a huge part of the Knicks' success against Philly. McConnell, wild floater in the lane is no good. Hart the rebound. Quick outlet to Brunson. One-on-one with Nembhard. Drives that hit. Floats it up and in off the glass.
Really incredible shot by Jalen Brunson. Has to time Isaiah Jackson also trailing him, trying to come up with the block from behind.
Brunson's got 12, 29 all. McConnell left wing, guarded by Anunoby. Picks up his dribble. DiVincenzo just checked back in, closes out on him. Here's Shepard, left side of the arc. High post pass for Jackson, back out to Nembhard on the right side. Drives center of the court, slip pass inside. Jackson gets Hartenstein to leave its feet and finishes over him off the glass.
Hartenstein does a good job, though, of maintaining vertical.
31-29, Knicks down 2. 8:58 to go, second quarter. Hart, right side pass, DiVincenzo, right corner, Anunoby. Fakes the three, cross-court pass to Hart on the left. Back up top for Hartenstein on the left elbow. Guarded by Jackson, hands it to Brunson. Brunson towards the foul line, top of the key jumper, front rim no. Jackson the rebound, outlet to Siakam. Pacers pushing. McConnell's there on the right, gets around Brunson to the basket, lays it in. Indy leads 33-29.
The pace is starting to catch up to the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson is having to work so hard, and I'll be honest, I didn't necessarily have T.J. McConnell as an X factor in terms of guarding him.
He's made life difficult for Brunson so far. Hartenstein finds DiVincenzo open, left corner three, rushed it off the back of the rim. Hart back taps the rebound to Hartenstein. Gets up top, Anunoby steps into one and knocks down the three.
Josh Hart's presence at the rim, he's the one that creates that tip ultimately, and the ball movement afterward is beautiful.
33-32 Pacers, and they call a timeout.
These timeouts are going to have to be used very wisely. Sit, get off your feet, breathing exercises, hydration, whatever it is that you need. While head coach Tom Thibodeau has opened up this rotation more than what we saw versus the Sixers, he immediately went back to his guys when things started to get stagnant.
OG Anunoby has already made good on 2 3-pointers here in the first half. He has 6 points. Knicks trail 33-32 with 8:05 to go in the second quarter. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
When rugged capability meets true performance, learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. Back here at the Garden, 8:05 to go, second quarter of Game 1. Pacers lead the Knicks 33-22. Monica, this was billed in large part as the battle of the all-star point guards, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. So far, it's been the battle of the point guards, Jalen Brunson and T.J. McConnell off the bench for the Pacers.
I am very curious to see what the minutes are going to look like potentially for T.J. McConnell in this ballgame. But then in addition to that, it reminds me that earlier today there were reports of Tyrese Halliburton being questionable with a back injury. Is that something that is actually hampering him in the course of this ballgame? Now, he's back on the floor now, and we know that he is a competitor and a gamer, so we'll see what he has to give.
McConnell has played 10 minutes so far and has scored 8 points. He's on the bench. As you mentioned, Halliburton back in. He's played 9 minutes.
as important as McConnell's scoring has been his defense pestering Jalen Brunson.
Brunson with 12 points, but most of them came before McConnell checked into the game. Pacers ball. Toppin has it left wing. Up top for Nembhard. Brunson closes out on him. Knicks with their starting 5 on the floor. Nembhard whips it into the corner. Shepard, another 3. This one's no good off the heel of the rim. Anunoby the rebound and outlet to Brunson. 7:43 to go in the second. Knicks down by a point. Brunson towards the top of the key. Behind the back dribble working against Nembhard. Pounding it with the left hand, backing his way in and fouled by Andrew Nembhard. That's going to be his second and the first of the quarter against the Pacers.
Nembhard and Nesmith were the first 2 guys I thought about in terms of the defensive assignment of slowing Jalen Brunson. Nesmith is back in the ball game, and he's going to guard Jalen on the inbounds on the far baseline.
Nembhard switches on to DiVincenzo as Shepard leaves the court. He's replaced by Nesmith. Inbounds to DiVincenzo. Brunson gets it back. Rolling to the basket. Hartenstein blocked from behind by Turner. Toppin sprints into the front court with the basketball. Hands it to Nesmith. Up top, Halliburton. Underneath, Turner wide open. A reverse slam as Hartenstein was slow to recover after falling to the floor.
I don't doubt the contact on that play, but slow recovery is asking for bad news to take place on the opposite end for the Pacers.
Knicks trail by 3. 7:10 to go in the second. DiVincenzo between the circles. Slips, but keeps his dribble. Crosses over, back against Nembhard, and gives it to Brunson. Brunson at the logo with 3 seconds to shoot. Turner steps out on him. Brunson's pass is deflected. DiVincenzo's not going to get the shot off in time. It's a violation, 24-second violation against the Knicks.
That was the first time, though, we had seen the Pacers deploy a trap on Jalen Brunson, who was just below the Knicks logo at center court.
6:56 to go in the second. 35-32 Pacers. Knicks so far have led by as many as 8. Here's Nembhard to a cutting Turner. Wild shot inside, no, but the follow-up attempt is good. And the Pacers lead by 5. This equals their largest lead of the game so far, 37-32. 6:35 to go in the second. Nesmith all the way up on Brunson, who drives around him, flips it up with the left hand, and that's a goaltending violation.
Jalen Brunson is having to work a ton. I'd like to see the Knicks get back to some of the sets that included a little bit more action.
Brunson's got 14. Knicks trail by 3. Nembhard guarded by Brunson. Brings it towards the left elbow. Pulls up 15 feet away. No good. Hard, a good box out and rebound. His 6th. Sprints it into the front court. Drives at Turner again. Underneath the basket. Hart. Off balance. Finds Anunoby. Jab step. 3-pointer. Right side. No good off the front of the rim. Halliburton comes in for the rebound. On the left side, Halliburton fires a pull-up 3-pointer. No good off the back of the rim. Another rebound for Hart. Here come the Knicks. Hart towards the foul line. Drives inside the paint. Draws contact. The basket is good. And the foul.
Needed that basket from Josh Hart. It has been such a laborious task to get quality looks here in the half court in the last few possessions since the most recent timeout. Josh Hart read the room and attacked Nembhard again, picking up a foul courtesy of one of those Villanova Knicks. That is his 3rd.
And with those 3 fouls, Andrew Nembhard heads to the bench, replaced by Shepard. The rookie quickly back in. Hart short on the attempt. Can't finish the 3-point play. Unable to tie the score. So it's 37-36 Pacers with 5:48 to go until halftime. Halliburton drives right at Hartenstein. Up top pass. Turner's 3 is good.
That is one of the mismatches in this game that piqued your interest when you saw these two teams on papers. The Knicks 5s do not stretch the floor in the same way that Miles Turner has the ability to. You saw him knock down that 3 there.
36% from downtown on the season. I mentioned earlier, in the 3 regular season games, Turner was 8 for 10 against the Knicks on 3-pointers. Here's Brunson left wing, drives on Nesmith. He loses his footing. Brunson to the basket is grabbed and fouled. Couldn't finish the bucket, but it'll go back to the line.
I think my favorite part of that, though, is the Knicks crowd reacting to the crossover.
So Brunson with 14 points, 4 for 4 from the line, goes back there. Fouls against Nesmith. Nesmith has 2. Nembhard has 3. For the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson is on the bench with 2, and Hartenstein also has 2 fouls. Brunson, first of 2 free throws is good. The leading scorer in the game so far with 15 points, Josh Hart, the only other in double figures for either team with 11. Knicks still with their starting 5 out there. Brunson sets himself. Second attempt is good. McConnell just checked back in. So it's McConnell, Toppin, Halliburton, Turner, and Neesmith for the Pacers. It's trailed by 2, 40-38. McConnell gets a step on DiVincenzo, who's blocked, takes it away, saves it. Anunoby wasn't looking, it's loose. Anunoby dives to the floor for the loose ball, gets it into the hands of Hartenstein, and a timeout is granted to the New York Knicks.
Tremendous hustle by OG Anunoby. A great play by Dante DiVincenzo to block TJ McConnell on the layup attempt. But partner, as we talk about minutes and timeouts in this ballgame, the 3 contributors off the Knicks bench have played a total of 13 minutes and scored 1 point. Now, Mitchell Robinson does have those 2 fouls, but I would be very curious if head coach Tom Thibodeau feels comfortable enough to go back to McBride or Achua just to give some of his starters a breather.
That block by DiVincenzo, his second of the game so far. 5:03 to go, second quarter. Pacers 40 and the Knicks 38. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is playing the loosest slots, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games, all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Bethlehem is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years of age. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sports fans, take your game day snack to a whole new level. Cibao Meat Products Jamoneta Campesino Salami, the MVP of flavor. Whether you're cheering for touchdowns or slam dunks, this Hispanic-style salami is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Made with the finest ingredients and packed with zesty spices, Jamoneta Campesino Salami delivers a burst of savory goodness in every bite. Score big with Cibao Meat Jamoneta Campesino Salami. Available at your local supermarket. Remember, if you see our logo from the start, put it in your shopping cart. Cibao Meat Products, over half a century of tradition and quality.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Hi, I'm John Starks. We know that every success starts with a solid team. With over 200 vehicles in stock, our all-star team will always put your needs first, making sure you will always get a slam-dunk deal here at John Starks Kia.
It's our Spring Splash Savings Sales Event. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on the all-wheel drive electric Kia EV6s and lease one for only $294 per month. You can even get 0% APR up to 60 months.
John Starks Kia. Stand tall.
Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the Mall at Short Hills. Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you at the Garden. 5:03 to go, second quarter. Pacers lead the Knicks 40-38. It's been a pretty defensive-minded game so far for both teams, Monica.
Yeah, I would say the Pacers in the last 6 minutes or so have gotten some of their bread and butter type of opportunities. Whether it was Knicks kind of falling down after shot or not great shot selections, when Tyrese Halliburton came back in the ballgame, one play, the Miles Turner reverse dunk right in the paint stands out. And so they've been able to find their spots. The Knicks got to continue to be disciplined in their shot selection, but there's like a fine line between discipline and also creating enough actions to help get Jalen Brunson some breathing room, both for himself and to be able to make quality passes to find his teammates.
Something to continue to monitor, and you made this point going into the timeout. Tom Thibodeau so far has relied heavily upon his starting 5. They're on the floor right now. DiVincenzo, Brunson, Hartenstein, Hart, and Anunoby. Hart stopped in the paint, and he traveled on the jump stop. Dragged the foot. Zach Zarba rings him up for a travel.
Doesn't contest that much. Heads down to the other end and drops the basketball, although I'm sure he disagrees.
4:55 to go in the second. Knicks trailing by 2. Halliburton guarded by DiVincenzo, brings it left wing. Up top, Turner fakes the 3. Good closeout by Hartenstein. Turner hands the ball Neesmith. Between the legs dribble, drives. Right-hand side, and that's an offensive foul. As Neesmith just barreled over Jalen Brunson. And that is his 3rd personal foul, so he has 3, as does Andrew Nembhard.
Jalen Brunson, first of all, he does a great job of standing in, and on that possession, he's not just waiting. He's actually shuffling his feet in a defensive stance guarding Aaron Nesmith and get to the spot before Nesmith can.
So Knicks get the ball back, 4:40 to go in the second, trailing 40-38. McConnell back in, pestering Brunson into the front court as Brunson dribbling with the right hand. Left side of the floor, now brings it towards the center. Right wing, Hart. Right corner, Anunoby. Fakes the three. Couple of dribbles. Back up top for Hart. Shot clock at 5. Hartenstein at the high post. Hands it to Hart. Circling towards the left baseline. His fall-away jumper. Rolls around no good. Rebounded by Siakam. Siakam brings it up. Hart tries to take it away from him. Hart, very aggressive defense here. Siakam gets rid of it to Halliburton. Flip past Siakam down the lane and finishes around Hartenstein.
A very slippery finish by Siakam because of the outstretched left arm of Isaiah Hartenstein.
42-38 with 3:58 to go in the second. Hartenstein, left wing pass DiVincenzo. Back up top for Hartenstein. DiVincenzo gets it back. Couple of dribbles inside the arc. Jump stop, dotted circle, floater is good, and that's Dante DiVincenzo's first 2 points of the night.
A beautiful jump stop there to gather and let the defender fly by.
McConnell right wing pass Siakam as the Knicks trail by 2. Siakam drives on Anunoby, spin move in the lane, turnaround is good over his former teammate.
One of the things you got, oh boy.
There's a foul against TJ McConnell reaching in against Brunson in the backcourt.
That will be McConnell's first.
4th team foul against the Pacers. So the Knicks will inbound, 3:30 to go, trailing by 4. This time McConnell giving Brunson a little bit of room to operate. As he jogs it over the midcourt line, McConnell picks him up, right side of the arc. Brunson dribbling with the right hand. Now switches to the left, around an Anunoby screen. Flip pass to Anunoby, spin move to the basket, lays it in with the left hand. Anunoby with 8. Knicks trail by 2. McConnell quickly the other way. Back up top. Turner left wide open. Left side of the arc. Three-pointer. No off the front of the rim. DiVincenzo grabs the rebound into the hands of Hartenstein and an outlet to Hart. Under 3 minutes to play in the second. Knicks trailing by 2 with the basketball. Anunoby holds it center of the court. Now gives to Hartenstein high post. Back to Brunson between the circles. Under 10 seconds to shoot. Right wing, DiVincenzo. Couple of jab steps. Now drives on Shepard. Around him. Reverse layup is good. And we're tied at 44. Quick outlet pass to Halliburton in the front court. Pace quickening. 2:35 to go. Halliburton chased by Hart. Now he circles back to the left side. Inside the paint. Right corner. Shepard dribbles and finds Turner at the high post. Runs into Hartenstein. His floater is good.
This thing is picking up the pace, and not just in terms of going basket to basket, but also in the half court. The Pacers are moving the basketball with a quickness around the perimeter. The Knicks are doing some of that as well.
46-44, Brunson backing his way in the paint on the left block. Step back, 14-foot jumper is good. Tied at 46. 18 for Brunson. McConnell trying to answer quickly. Drives on Brunson, floats it up and in. Little back and forth action. Pacers lead 48-46.
It's very difficult, as we've seen over the course of this stretch, the last 4 minutes, to stop a team looking to run in transition.
Brunson with the ball on the left side. Trying to elude himself of McConnell. Right wing, Hart. Now Anunoby. Good closeout on Anunoby. 4 seconds to shoot. Drives on Siakam. Step back. Foul line jumper. Front rim, no. Shepard the rebound. Minute and a half to go in the second. McConnell left wing, bounce pass inside. Siakam turns, flips it up and in over Anunoby. Pacers lead 50-46.
Siakam has been doing that throughout the first half, establishing position deep under the rim, whether he gets the basketball or not.
1:13 to go in the second. Knicks down by 4. Hard on the left wing. Towards the foul line with the drive. Poked away and stolen from behind. Shepard, Halliburton got a hand on it. Halliburton lob for Shepard. Lays it up and in. Pacers lead 52-46. This is their largest lead of the game so far. Final minute of the first half.
And the Pacers are playing with confidence on both sides of the basketball.
Here's DiVincenzo driving on Shepard. Wild shot off the glass, in and out, tapped out of bounds off of Hartenstein. It'll go back to Indy.
That was an incredible take by Dante DiVincenzo. Just couldn't get the home roll for that one to fall.
DiVincenzo playing with more confidence. His last couple of trips down court is 4 points here in the latter stages of the second quarter. 40 seconds to go in the half. Knicks down 6. McConnell on the Knicks logo, guarded loosely by Hart. Now picked up by DiVincenzo, drives right around him, reverse layup, misses, comes up short. Knicks looking to push. Brunson has a 1-on-3, so he'll back it out on the right side. Now he drives around Siakam, jump stop in the lane, finds Hart, knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. 15 to shoot, 24 seconds left in the quarter.
Good on Josh Hart to keep moving to see what Jalen Brunson was doing in terms of drawing two defenders. He went to the weak side block.
Inbound, Brunson gets it back, pulls up for three, no good off the front of the rim. A good box out and rebound by Shepard. The Pacers can hold for a final shot. Shot clock is off. Halliburton across the timeline. 10 seconds to go in the half. Pacers lead by 6. Steven Chenzel up on Halliburton on the left side. Uses the Siakam screen, pulls up for three, and knocks it down. Pacers lead by 9. 2.5 seconds to go. Brunson looking to inbound. Finds Hartenstein. One dribble. Half court. It's good! Hartenstein from half court at the buzzer.
Isaiah Hartenstein from half court was nowhere near my bingo card. But for a team that was looking pretty tired down the stretch of the end of the second quarter, that is a moment that you hope they can draw some energy from. What in the world?
On the other side of half court, to be precise, about a 50-foot jump shot by Isaiah Hartenstein floating through the rim. And the Knicks were trailing by 9. They cut the Pacers' lead to 6, and boy, did they need that one.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully that gives them some momentum. Until the Knicks started to look fatigued, I thought they did a really good job of getting back defensively. But over that last 4-minute stretch, you could see the Pacers finding their legs, finding their confidence, both defensively and offensively. Not because they were playing stay in front of you defense, but they were able to pop the basketball loose as the Knicks were trying to attack the gap because they didn't have a ton of spacing. All things considered, partner, with just 2 guys in double figures for the Knicks to be down 6, you take a deep breath and understand that basketball is a game of runs.
Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. So an exciting finish to the first half here at Madison Square Garden. The Isaiah Hartenstein half-court buzzer beater, and the Pacers lead the Knicks 55-49. Dan Grossa takes you through halftime. That's coming up next. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York City, conveniently located at 55th Street and 11th Avenue. Free indoor valet parking is available. Visit the Audi flagship store today. Here's a deal just for you. Enjoy complimentary Audi care with the lease or purchase of any new Audi. Shop 24 hours a day at AudiManhattan.com. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
This is the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. Now, here's Dan Graca.
And it's time now for the New York Knicks halftime report, which is brought to you by Spectrum. Dan Graca with you, one half in the books at Madison Square Garden, and been a tale of two quarters thus far. The Indiana Pacers have a 55-49 lead over the New York Knickerbockers. It is time now for the first half spotlight, brought to you by BetMGM. I say a tale of two quarters because the Knicks built up a biggest lead of 8 in the opening 12 minutes, led by 3 after the first quarter. But then in the second quarter, it's been all Pacers. Indiana actually built up a lead as much as 9 moments before the second quarter would expire. But thanks to Isaiah Hartenstein's 46-foot heave at the buzzer at half court, getting the Knicks a little bit closer, down to 6, which is where we are right now at 55-49. As far as the Knicks are concerned, as you would expect, Jalen Brunson got off to a real good start, had 10 of the Knicks' first 12 points. He leads all scorers with 18 in the first half. Josh Hart contributing offensively as well. He's got 11 to go with 7 rebounds. OG Anunoby has made a couple of threes. He's got 8 points. Indiana, meantime, getting the contributions up and down the lineup, and that's one thing about this Pacers team. They're first in the NBA in terms of bench scoring, and right now you look at the bench points in the first 2 quarters right now, it's 27-1 in favor of the visitors, and TJ McConnell is actually the high man for the Pacers with 10 off the bench. Ben Shepherd has 8 for them. Miles Turner has 9. Tyrese Halliburton has 6 points and 5 assists in the opening half. Pascal Siakam as well, 6 points to go with 5 rebounds for the visitors tonight. Knicks just 4 of 12 from 3. Indiana 7 of 16. So in addition to those bench points, which are very lopsided in favor of the Indiana Pacers, Knicks, though, doing an okay job as far as trying to corral Indiana in the paint. Indiana scores the most points in the paint in the NBA. They also give up the most points, if you could understand that contrast as well. 30-26 in favor of the Pacers in that department. Knicks, we were wondering how deep Tom Thibodeau would go with the rotation. 3 guys have seen action tonight off of the bench: McBride, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa, but none more than 5 minutes, and 2 of the 3 have not scored a point yet, as Achiuwa made a free throw, which accounts for the only point from the Knicks' second unit. Now, that was your first half spotlight, presented by BetMGM. Get the BetMGM app today. Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Please bet responsibly. Don't forget to stick with MSG through round 2 for pre- and post-game coverage with an eligible TV subscription. Just one other game tonight on the out-of-town scoreboard around the NBA, and that'll come up a little bit later this evening. Out in Denver, it'll be game 2 of the best-of-7 between the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Minnesota leads that series 1-0 to none. Minnesota, as a matter of fact, undefeated still in this postseason. They are 5-0 thus far. And how about the performance of one Anthony Edwards in the Game 1 victory for Minnesota? 43 points in getting them that victory on the floor of the defending world champs. Our score here at halftime is 55-49. The Pacers leading the New York Knicks. It's time now for this date in New York Knicks history. And on May the 6th, 1965, well, that was when the Knicks select Princeton forward Bill Bradley with a territorial selection in the NBA draft. He would join the team 2 years later, making his debut on December 9th, 1967. I think that draft pick turned out quite well. Then on May the 6th, 1990, Knicks overcame a 2-0 deficit to win their first-round series with the Celtics, capped off with an emotional 121-114 victory in Boston. New York became the 3rd team in NBA history to rally from down 2-0 to win a series. Patrick Ewing led the way with 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. And that was this date in New York Knicks history. So it's no secret there's a lot of storylines leading into this Knicks-Pacers first one tilt, and one of them being the head coach of the Pacers, Rick Carlisle, who once upon a time was head coach of the Dallas Mavericks when they had a young guard named Jalen Brunson. Before tonight's game, Coach Carlisle was asked how Jalen has grown as a player since he had him as a young pupil back in the Dallas days.
Well, he obviously has grown tremendously. He had some huge gains for us the first 3 years, but it was Luka's team, And so when he came here, it was pretty clear, like right off the bat, that Tibbs just said, "Hey, this is your thing." And when you give a strong-willed guy like that the green light, because Jalen, as aggressive a scorer as he is one of the great team guys I've ever been around in this league or any sport at any level. I mean, he's just really exceptional. Amazing things can happen for your team, and a lot of bad things can happen for opponents. So, hats off to New York for being able to sign him, and he's been historically great here.
And another storyline involving Jalen Brunson for the series is the matchup with his counterpart on the Indiana side. That would be their fellow all-star point guard, Tyrese Halliburton. And Coach Carlisle, before tonight's game, was saying that the one common denominator that both Jalen and Halliburton have is that they both fuel on those that they're trying to prove wrong.
It's pretty clear that doubters are something that they welcome. And, when people doubt them, they dig in harder. Both of those guys. I mean, Tyrese was taken 12th. Is that what he was in the first round? The story's been kicked around a lot. In Dallas, we were desperately trying to trade up to get him. We thought he was the best player in the draft that year. There's other good players in the draft. We just had no luck moving up. And look, Brunson's story is well documented. And he's an amazing success story, but a kid from a great family that was from a great college program too. And Tyrese played at a great college program as well.
And that is Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. Our halftime score once again: Indiana leads the Knicks 55-49. It's time now for the Knicks Keys to the Half, brought to you by Open Road Auto Group. And Pacers, as we told you earlier, fueled right now by the strength in numbers. They're getting the contributions up and down the lineup. Knicks, Jalen Brunson, a good first half. Josh Hart, a big first half. Also, OG Anunoby contributing offensively. Where do they get that secondary scoring? Dante DiVincenzo just 2 for 7 in that first half. Remember how instrumental he was in that Knicks victory in Philadelphia back on Thursday with the 23 points. See if he could get going. Has yet to make a three-pointer. Knicks just 4 of 12 from beyond the arc in the opening 2 quarters of this basketball game. And those paint production points, Indiana +4 in that department, and Indiana also the number 1 assist team in the NBA. They've got 15 assists on 23 made field goals, sharing the basketball. That is what they do well. Knicks, by comparison, just 7 on 18 made shots. And that was the Knicks Keys to the Half, brought to you by Open Road Auto Group. Open Road Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi offer excellent pricing and first-class experience. Choose Open Road for your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Visit us online at openroad.com. And that was the New York Knicks halftime report, brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum One, fast and reliable internet for $39.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and a free unlimited mobile line, both free for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details. I'll talk to you again in the post-game show, but coming up next, Pat O'Keefe, Monica McNutt, they've got the second half for you with the Pacers leading the Knicks 55-49. And you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. The second half is coming right up.
NBA fans looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
Have you overcome some challenges in your life? Use your life experience to supervise and support young people in detention. Become a youth development specialist. It's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary, and you'll be making a positive impact on the lives of young New Yorkers. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS. That's nyc.gov/YDS.
Garden, Pat O'Keefe, and Monica McNutt getting you set for the start of the second half as the Knicks trail the Indiana Pacers 55-49. A first half that saw the Knicks shoot 43% from the field. The Knicks, Monica, were on their way to being down by 9 at the half until Isaiah Hartenstein's buzzer-beating half-court shot pulled it to within 6. But overall, it's been a challenge against these Pacers so far.
I thought the Knicks had really great momentum in that first quarter, Pat. In the second quarter, it felt like the Pacers were adjusting a little bit. Remember, they are a young team. This is new territory for most of these guys outside of Pascal Siakam, who won a title in Toronto. In the last 6 minutes or so of the second quarter, it really felt like the Pacers got to their bread and butter. Some of it was a byproduct of the Knicks not taking great shots. The others were things like the Knicks feeling contact, hitting the ground, and not getting up and recovering fast enough. You give the Pacers a chance to run 5-on-4, they're going to attempt to make you pay every single time. I do think that the Knicks have to figure out how to make life a little bit easier for Jalen Brunson, particularly when TJ McConnell is in, and that can come if everyone else looks to be aggressive as scorers, but decisively so, not waiting around.
Among several numbers explaining the first half, bench scoring 27-1 in favor of the Indiana Pacers. They were led by T.J. McConnell's 10 points off the bench in the first half. The second half is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Pacers ball first, third quarter underway. Siakam gives it to Nembhard between the circles. Nembhard and Nesmith each picked up 3 fouls in that first half. Turner left open for 3 off the front of the rim from the top of the arc, and Anunoby grabs the rebound.
Miles Turner was able to connect on just 1 3 in the first half, but his ability to stretch the floor is something that is noted.
Hartenstein drives on Turner. They kick it around to DiVincenzo. Left side three-pointer, rattles it in, and just like that, the Knicks are back within 3. Here's Nesmith. Passes on an open look. Cross-court pass into the left corner. Siakam, he answers. Three-pointer right in front of the Pacers bench. So the Knicks and the Pacers exchanging threes to begin the third quarter. DiVincenzo right side pass Hart, guarded by Nesmith. Hart facing up on him. Now Hartenstein has it high post. Turns and faces the basket. Backdoor feed. DiVincenzo along the baseline. Kicks it right wing. Anunoby, 3 seconds to shoot. Hart has to drive. Euro step. Comes up short on the finish. Hartenstein the offensive rebound. DiVincenzo resets. Has it between the circles. Right side pass for Brunson. Shot clock at 7. Brunson one-on-one with Siakam. Steps through, finds Hart, lays it in.
I like the ball movement, but I think it could be even crisper for the New York Knicks.
58-54. Knicks down 4. Minute and a half gone by in the third. Chance of defense at the Garden. Siakam backing in, turns, fall away, jump shot is good from the dotted circle over Anunoby.
I think that's the first time, definitely to start the half, we've seen the Pacers wait and set up a half-court set.
10:18 to go here in the third. 60-54. Knicks down 6. That was the deficit at halftime. DiVincenzo guarded by Nesmith, lobs it to Hartenstein, and his pass out of the reach of Brunson and out of bounds.
Right idea, miscommunication on the execution.
And a quick inbound for the Pacers. Halliburton slip pass to Turner, who's fouled from behind by Jalen Brunson on the reach-in.
Jalen Brunson is just a step out of the lane. If he moves his entire body, you probably come up with a steal there.
So exactly 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Knicks trail by 6. Halliburton inbounds right side front court to Turner. Halliburton quickly gets it back. DiVincenzo up on his hip. Halliburton, step back, now top of the arc. Nesmith, one dribble. Defender flies by, misses the 3. Brunson grabs his third rebound. Brings it up himself. Drives at Nembhard, gets to the foul line. Now veers off and backs it out behind the three-point arc. Nembhard still up on Brunson, picks up his dribble, flip past Hartenstein, high post, right corner. Hart fakes the 3, down the lane. Hartenstein's 12-foot floater, no good off the back of the rim. Hart battling for the offensive rebound, taps it to Anunoby. High post, Hartenstein slams it home.
The effort of Josh Hart tonight can't go without acknowledging what.
There was a whistle right after the dunk that was good by Isaiah Hartenstein. The Pacers will have to inbound it again with 9:26 to go in the third quarter. It's 60-56. There's a wet spot at midcourt. So one of the members of the crew, 2 of the members of the crew out there with towels drying that up, and that is the reason for the delay.
Always safety first, as Tyler Ford brings the wet spot to the attention of the crew.
Good hustle by them. 60-56. Knicks down 4. Back to live action. 9:25 to go in the third. DiVincenzo waits for Halliburton to bring it into the front court. Up top pass, Siakam gathers, drives on Anunoby. Step back 17-foot jumper comes up short. Hart another rebound and a mad dash into the front court. Takes it all the way to the basket. Jump stop. Lays it up. No good. But Josh Hart draws the foul. He'll go back to the line.
Similar to what we saw in the first period, or the first series, Josh Hart's aggressiveness is something that teams don't quite account for. And today, it's been important to keep pace if you're the New York Knicks.
It seems like, as makes the first free throw, it seems like it's been a very important part of the Knicks' offensive attack so far tonight.
And our terrific producer, Ray Santiago, reminds us that he's played almost every minute of the first series. And so his stamina is something to marvel at.
2 for 2 from the line for Josh Hart in round 1. He averaged 46 minutes per game. Knicks back within 2, 60-58. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the third. Turner hands it to Halliburton, top of the arc. Turner breaks free, pump fake, one-handed slam around Anunoby.
Turner patient there. I think that's also the first time we've seen the Knicks run a hard trap at Tyrese Halliburton.
And he found the open man inside. Tyrese Halliburton, the NBA's leader in assists during the regular season, has 7 tonight. 62-58. Knicks down 4. Brunson from the left elbow. Picks up his dribble, bounces it up top for Hart, circling down the lane. Reverse layup. He's fouled by Turner. Hart hits the floor hard, and he'll go back to the line.
I do appreciate what Josh Hart is doing, though, forcing the issue. Can the Pacers defend in the paint without sending the New York Knicks to the foul line?
Knicks free throws tonight, 11 for 13. Hart has 9 rebounds and 15 points. And we're just under 3.5 minutes gone by here in the third quarter.
Are we getting past the point where you would call him an X Factor because he's becoming a known quantity?
I do think he's beyond X Factor, as the first free throw is good. 2 offensive rebounds so far in the second half for the Knicks, equaling their total for the entire first half. That was the other thing that jumped out. I referred to the bench scoring 27-1. The Pacers, as Hart hits the second, actually had a 5-2 offensive rebounding advantage in the first half.
A lot of that probably has to do with Isaiah Jackson.
Good energy off the bench for them. 62-60. Knicks down by 2. It's late. Turner misses the dunk. Rebound bounces out to Anunoby. Hard bounce pass to DiVincenzo. He doesn't miss the dunk. We're tied at 62.
Miles Turner was attempting to rack Isaiah Hartenstein. Give him credit for meeting him at the rim and denying what would have been an energizing basket for the Pacers. And in turn, the Knicks give the Pacers a dose of their own medicine as Josh Hart pushes him to transition and Dante DiVincenzo rocks the rim on his own accord.
And Rick Carlisle calls timeout from the Pacers bench with 8:18 to go in the third quarter. The Knicks and the Pacers are all tied at 62 apiece here at Madison Square Garden. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
It all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up...
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
We made it.
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get 0% APR financing on a new 2024 Nissan Altima SR-PC Turbo. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. For well-qualified buyers, subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. See dealer for financing details. Ends June 3rd, 2024. New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN-FM, New York.
Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt at Madison Square Garden. 8:18 to go, third quarter. Monica, we are now tied at 62. Josh Hart leading a third quarter surge as the Knicks have erased a 6-point halftime deficit.
It has been most effective when the Knicks can just go full force right to the rim, right? Don't give this Pacers defense a chance to set up. Now, obviously, if Josh Hart were to start inbounding the basketball and you bypass Jalen Brunson, someone would come guard him full court. But the Knicks' opportunities to score have been the highest quality when it's in transition or a secondary break.
Pacers ball out of the timeout, 8:15 to go in the third. Knicks starting five remains on the floor. Halliburton in the front court lobs for Nembhard. Brunson up on him. A side pass, Turner. Hartenstein gives him a step to operate. Turner drives, picks up his dribble, hands to Siakam. Curling, 6 seconds to shoot. Up top for Nesmith. Lob pass inside Turner. Turns, flips it up and in over Anunoby. Miles Turner puts the Pacers back on top by 2. Got 13 points. Now DiVincenzo across the timeline, gives to Brunson. 64-62 Pacers, 7:40 to go in the third. Brunson towards the top of the arc. Loses his footing, kicks it to Anunoby. Drives on Siakam, bounce pass Hartenstein. 8-foot floater, gets the roll, and we're tied at 64.
A really great pass by OG Anunoby because he had Siakam as the primary defender, but Miles Turner collapsed on the help.
Anunoby's first assist. Knicks and Pacers tied again. Halliburton stops, 10-foot floater is good, and the foul.
Oh, wow. There's a foul on this?
Foul is called against Dante DiVincenzo on the reach-in. Now the question is, now they take the basket away. The foul stands, but as we just saw on the replay, Monica, the foul occurred on the floor.
Yeah, it's Dante DiVincenzo who's about to fly by Halliburton. He swipes down at the basketball. He gets arm contact there, and then Halliburton proceeds to go into the jump shot. So there's a real disconnect. No continuation on that one.
A simple front court inbound on the left side for the Pacers with 7:17 to go in the third. Second team foul against the Knicks. Second on DiVincenzo. Nembhard off the inbounds, brings it center of the court. Left side gives it back. Fires a quick three, comes up short. Hart the rebound, brings it up court himself. In the center, Hart kicks it back out. Anunoby now Hartenstein right wing. DiVincenzo trying to get free. Hartenstein hands to him. DiVincenzo drives and is taken away by Halliburton. Tries to beat Hart to the basket. Behind the back, Siakam. Wild layup, no good, and a late whistle and a foul called underneath by Zach Zarba.
Not only does Josh Hart give the signal, but head coach Tom Thibodeau looks to the second row of his coaching staff. The Knicks will probably consider challenging this one.
Tom Thibodeau is taking another look, looking back at his assistant coach Scott King, and is electing not to challenge this one. Hartenstein was the trail defender. Josh Hart was in front of Siakam. Hartenstein gets called for the foul. 6:54, third quarter. Siakam's first free throw is no good. Such a tight game, Monica. You only get one of those challenges if you're wrong, and Tom Thibodeau electing to hold on to it for later.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision. That's a job that assistant coach Scott King takes very seriously. There's a lot of trust there.
And you know what? Siakam missed both free throws, so literally no harm, no foul.
Ball don't lie.
DiVincenzo in the front court, hands to Brunson. We're still tied at 64. Chance of let's go Knicks here at the Garden. Brunson circles towards the center, and there's a whistle. It's an offensive foul against the Knicks. It's an offensive foul, an illegal screen against Dante DiVincenzo, getting his elbow up and shoving Nembhard out of the way.
One thing about the guards that are defending Jalen Brunson is they're going to be pesky and try to bring every little bit of contact to the attention of the officials.
Pick and roll. Turner is fouled from behind on the reach-in by Josh Hart going to the basket.
Josh Hart has been way too valuable in today's contest to get into any sort of foul trouble. That is just his first, though, but you got to keep that in mind.
Turner got free for a moment on the pick and roll. Hart reached in. Turner's first free throw attempt is good. His first trip to the line tonight, 14 points for the center, the ninth-year center out of Texas. Same school that produced Knicks center Jericho Sims. 2 for 2 from the line is Miles Turner at 66-64. Full court pressure being shown. Anunoby throws it into the front court. Brunson chases it down. Drives right at Halliburton. Reverse layup is good, and we're tied at 66. Quick outlet pass to Obi Toppin on the left wing. Back to Halliburton in the front court. Here's that pace again. Halliburton, left side of the arc, guarded by DiVincenzo. Now they're swinging around right side, Nembhard. Around the Turner screen, Nembhard stops in the dotted circle. Pump fake, underneath pass blocked. Jalen Brunson went up and blocked Turner, but was also called for a foul.
I think there's too much contact on the back end here. Jalen Brunson does get the basketball, but he also gets the left side of Miles Turner's body.
We saw Scott King, who is the replay guru for the Knicks. We've been talking a lot about him. An emphatic signal to Tom Thibodeau to challenge this call, and Tom Thibodeau does just that.
New York is challenging the ruling.
So, based on what we've seen, partner, was this contact marginal in terms of impacting Miles Turner, and does Jalen Brunson get the ball before the contact?
And then the other thing to consider, Monica, as the ball was hit out of the hands of Turner, it appears to go right into the hands of OG Anunoby, so it could go to the Knicks for imminent possession. They'll take a look at that. There is a timeout for the Knicks challenge. It comes with 6:12 to go in the third quarter, and the Knicks and the Pacers are all tied at 66. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Back here at the Garden, a successful challenge again for Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau. A clean block for Jalen Brunson, and due to imminent possession, as the ball went into the hands of OG Anunoby, not only is the foul taken away from Brunson, but the Knicks gained possession, Monaco, with 6:12 to go in the third, tied at 66.
These are the type of energizing moments that you need if you're the Knicks. They've kind of got stuck in the mud a little bit offensively. Now, fortunately, their defense is hanging tough in this one, as it is all tied up at 66. But the rhythm that we saw them start the ball game within the first quarter has largely been elusive since that point.
How about the 6'2 Brunson going up and blocking the shot of the 6'11 Miles Turner?
Timing.
So the Knicks will inbound right in front of the Pacers bench in the backcourt. Some full court pressure being shown. Hartenstein has it and gives it over to Hart. Knicks have to hurry to get this across the timeline. Hart, guarded by Nesmith, does with a second to spare. Hartenstein at the high post. Shot clock is now down to 12. Brunson on the right wing. His pass is deflected into open space. Run down by Hartenstein. Gives it to DiVincenzo. Drives around Turner. Lays it up and in. Knicks lead 68-66.
When the Knicks are decisive, they don't allow the Pacers to load up and get help in position.
DiVincenzo getting going after the slow start. He's got 11. Nembhard stops his dribble at the foul line. Bounce pass inside Turner. Great position. Lays it in over Brunson.
Just like the Knicks had game plan to sort of to pick and roll to target Tyrese Halliburton if they so desire, the Pacers are fine with the Knicks not switching.
5:25 to go in the third, tied at 68. Brunson brings it left side, crosses over now against Nesmith, loses his footing, flips it up, no good, knocked out of bounds, off of the Pacers. Good job by Hartenstein on the offensive boards.
Really crafty move there by JB. Nesmith slips, gets crossed up, whatever you want to say, but it's Isaiah Hartenstein that keeps this basketball alive.
Shot clock reset to 14. Anunoby inbounds to DiVincenzo on the left baseline. He's guarded by Halliburton. Gives it up to Brunson. Jab step into the left corner. DiVincenzo open three is good. And the Knicks lead 71-68. Halliburton quickly the other way across the timeline. Up top for Nembhard. Even 5 minutes to go here in the third. Top and rolling to the rim. Nothing doing there. Halliburton on the right wing fires his own three. High archer, no good. A good box out and rebound for Brunson. His fourth board, brings it up himself. Lob pass down low, Anunoby. Kicks it out to DiVincenzo. Up top, Hart. Straight line drive, Euro step. finds Hartenstein. His floater gets the roll. Knicks back on top by 5.
There was
73-68.
There was a lot to unpack on that possession. The initial look to OG Anunoby being guarded by Tyrese Halliburton. You thought you had an easy look there. Give the Pacers credit for collapsing defenses and regrouping.
Knicks trail by 6 at the half. They're up by 5. 4:20 to go in the third. Here's Nembhard between the circles. Brings it left wing. Pops a 15-foot jumper and knocks it down. And the Knicks lead is 3. More full court pressure being shown by the Pacers. Brunson trying to spin out of trouble against Nembhard. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the third. Brunson brings it left side towards the corner, along the baseline, flips it up too strong on the layup attempt, gets his own rebound. Anunoby for 3 off the front of the rim. Neesmith, rebound quick outlet to Halliburton, beating everyone down court, is Toppin for the one-handed slam.
That's something that I'm sure there's a sect of Knicks fans that are a little sour about, is obviously Obi Toppin was drafted by this organization.
And Tom Thibodeau wants to talk things over, calls timeout with 3:41 to go here in the third.
This series, maybe even more than the first series, will be indicative of basketball being a game of runs. What I find interesting, though, is that both teams have exactly 40 points in the paint. And while bench points seem to still they heavily still favor the Indiana Pacers, head coach Tom Thibodeau has not gone to his reserves.
You gave the stat in the first half, Monica, that the Knicks reserves had only played at that point 13 minutes in the game. That total still stands at 13 total minutes.
And you mentioned 1 point for that group versus 28 at halftime for the Pacers bench unit. They've added 1 point since the second half has begun.
This out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Best Trails and Travel. One other game tonight. It'll be Game 2 in Denver out in the Western Conference semifinals. Minnesota and the Nuggets as the T-Wolves won Game 1. Somewhat surprisingly on Saturday night. Tomorrow, 2 more Game 1s. Cleveland at Boston and Dallas at Oklahoma City. Game 2 of this series will be right back here at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night, an 8 o'clock tip for the Knicks and the Pacers. And, of course, between now and then, you get some more Rangers playoff hockey action tomorrow night right here against the Carolina Hurricanes, Game 2 of that series. That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. Knicks ball leading 73-72. DiVincenzo open, straight on 3. Front rim, can't get the roll. Toppin scoops up the rebound. So a little jolt here for the Indiana Pacers, back within 1. DiVincenzo nearly knocked the ball away from McConnell, who drives baseline on Brunson, kicks it back out for Turner. Turner guarded by Hartenstein, hands to McConnell, brings it right baseline. Floater from there is good, and the Pacers are back on top by a point.
Deuce McBride is now in the ball game. As we discussed, the Knicks reserves. And I got to say, Jalen Brunson having to guard T.J. McConnell seems to be a little bit more taxing than we may have anticipated.
McConnell is matched up on the other end with Brunson, who slips the pass to Hartenstein. Stops his dribble 8 feet away, floats it up too strong, rattles out, rebounded by the Pacers. 2:45 to go in the third. Indy leads 74-73. Halliburton, left side of the arc, chased by McBride. Up top pass for Turner. Turner a jab step and then gives the ball to McConnell, who drives on the right side, gives it back. Turner fouled hard inside by Hartenstein, and that'll be his 4th.
While that's Isaiah Hartenstein's 4th, which is not great, it will only provide free throws number 8 and 9 for the Pacers in today's ballgame. They're 4 of 7 from the free throw line so far.
2:33 to go in the third. Hartenstein, with those 4 fouls, walks back to the Knicks bench. Mitchell Robinson is at the scorer's table as Miles Turner hits the first. Robinson back in after playing 4 minutes and picking up 2 fouls in the first half. Ben Shepherd returns for the Pacers, as does Pascal Siakam. You mentioned the line changes employed by Rick Carlisle, the Pacers head coach. 76-73, both free throws good. Knicks down 3. Miscommunication on the inbounds. Robinson saves it, but it's stolen by McConnell. Foul line Turner underneath. Toppin reverse slam is good. 78-73. Knicks down by 5. Hard inbounds to McBride. 2:20 to go in the third. Here's McBride across the timeline, guarded by Shepard. Right wing pass, Brunson. The high screen from Robinson. Towards the foul line, lob for Robinson, who slams it down.
That's what my coaches used to call a mistake response. You had the turnover on the other end, but you get back and get in position to get a high percentage quality look for your team.
First field goal of the night off the Knicks bench. They trail by 3. Turner from the top gives to McConnell left wing. Hart guards him. Minute 48 to go in the quarter. McConnell drives to the basket, gets the roll inside with the left hand.
That's 14 points in this ballgame for T.J. McConnell, and all the while that was unfolding, you had Dante DiVincenzo trying to guard Pascal Siakam, and that's 12 points, excuse me.
Brunson weaving in and out of traffic. Floater from 12 feet away is good. Knicks back within 3. You were right the first time on McConnell. He does have 14 points.
Wow, okay.
Pass inside for Toppin. Straight line drive from the left for Siakam. Gives it up top for Turner. Now McConnell circling towards the foul line. Knocks out of his hands. Gets it back underneath the basket. Pass deflected by Robinson. Toppin picks it up. Cross court pass Shepard. Right corner. Bounce pass McConnell wide open for a layup with 1 second on the shot clock. And the Knicks trail again by 5.
Partner, the Knicks look tired. These are the type of deflections that usually bounce their way that they're able to recover to, and T.J. McConnell has been an energizer bunny in this one.
Brunson across the timeline, right wing, working on McConnell. Backs down, knocked out of his hands by McConnell, stolen by Toppin. Crossover dribble around Josh Hart. Look out! Obi Toppin through the legs, and a slam in transition. 84-77, Knicks down. Hart looks to answer. Takes it out to DiVincenzo. Three-pointer is good from the right side with 36 seconds to go in the third, and the Knicks trailing by 4.
Josh Hart pushing the basketball has legitimately been the Knicks' best offense tonight.
Final 30 seconds of the period. Shot clock down to 10. Knicks trail 84-80. Siakam side-to-side dribble. Now he drives on Hart from the left side. Ball away, no good. Rebounded by Hart. Shot clock is off. Outlet DiVincenzo. Reverse layup is good. Around Turner. Quick outlet pass with 10 seconds. McConnell in the front court. Knicks down by 2. McConnell drives on Brunson. Into the corner. Shepard. 1 extra pass. Toppin. 1 second to go. Turner, a deep three-pointer, is good. Ahead of the buzzer. A step behind the three-point line, giving the Pacers a 5-point lead.
Ironically, to start that possession, T.J. McConnell slowed down his team, and then they execute to a T. Miles Turner getting that shot off just before the buzzer sounds to end the first or the third quarter, excuse me.
It's a good three-point goal, plays under review.
Goodness. They're going to take another look at this, Monica, but from the replay that we saw, it looked like Turner got that shot off in time. And right now, after 3 quarters, the Pacers lead the Knicks 87-82 here at Madison Square Garden. Quarter number 4 coming up. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
NBA fans looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit GrandMarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm John Starks. We know that every success starts with a solid team. With over 200 vehicles in stock, our all-star team will always put your needs first, making sure you will always get a slam-dunk deal here at John Starks Kia.
It's our Spring Splash Savings Sales Event. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on the all-wheel drive electric Kia EV6s and lease one for only $294 per month. You can even get 0% APR up to 60 months.
John Starks Kia. Stand tall.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Fourth quarter here at the Garden, and Miles Turner's three-pointer at the end of the third quarter confirmed good ahead of the buzzer, giving him 13 points of his 22 in that third quarter, and more importantly, giving the Pacers an 87-82 lead over the Knicks as we enter quarter number 4. It's a back-and-forth third quarter, Monica. It's been a back-and-forth game so far. 9 ties, 5 lead changes. But the Knicks enter this final period down by 5.
Yeah, and one of my keys with this ballgame, Pap, was conditioning. And I got to applaud the Knicks because they have not gotten a lot of, not just productivity, but minutes out of their bench either. It has been sitting on 13 for the longest time until you got productivity or you got minutes from Robinson when Hartenstein picks up his 4th and McBride comes in to give OG Anunoby a breather. I'm not sure. I'll put it this way. History would tell us that now that it's the fourth quarter, the rotation is probably not going to expand. But there have been points in this ballgame where this Knicks team looks tired from having to try to keep up with the Pacers.
Knicks have the ball first to begin the fourth, and they will do so without Jalen Brunson on the bench.
This, of course, is customary, trying to extend out the break between quarters for your all-star point guard.
Having trouble getting it in again, knocked out of the hands of Anunoby and stolen by Siakam. This full court pressure by the Pacers is really impacting the Knicks. Slip pass, Siakam down the lane, no good, but a foul against DiVincenzo.
And that will send Siakam to the line.
4th foul against Dante DiVincenzo. First of the quarter against the Knicks. It comes 9 seconds into the 4th period.
It looked like Siakam popped him in the face with the basketball.
Well, Siakam has the basketball at the free throw line. He's 0 for 2 from the line. First attempt hits the front of the rim backboard and drops in.
Now, with this group on the floor, you need to set up your old school press break, whatever it may be. And then once the ball is inbounded, you've got to be solid with the basketball.
Siakam had trouble at the line in round 1. He was 46%, but he knocks both of them down here. And the Knicks trail by 7, 89-82. Pacers' largest lead has been 9. Here's McBride running the offense with Brunson on the bench. McBride towards the foul line, finds Anunoby, right wing, lines up a 3, and knocks it down.
Really well executed in the two-man game between McBride and OG Anunoby. Anunoby taking his time to set his feet and knock down that jumper, a big shot.
11 points for Anunoby. All 5 Knicks starters in double figures. Shepard, left wing, Siakam, pump fake, drives into Robinson, kicks it out. Toppin an open 3, right wing. High arcer is good. And the Pacers' lead is back to 7.
That gives Obi Toppin 12 points in this ball game. It feels like it might be a little personal for that young man.
92-85. Minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Robinson holding between the circles. Right wing pass for McBride. McConnell now guards him. Anunoby pops out, gets the ball, brings it towards the foul line. Long strides down the lane, but he can't finish the layup. Robinson battling inside, and it is a foul against Pascal Siakam. Third foul against Siakam. The first team foul against the Pacers. Mitchell Robinson's work on the offensive boards, forcing that. DiVincenzo inbounds to Robinson, top of the arc. Robinson, couple dribbles to his right. Still with the dribble. Now he hands to Hart. Shot clock is down to 6. Hart one-on-one with Toppin. Brings it right wing. Now cuts inside. Down the lane. Lays it up too strong. Rebounded by McConnell and looks to push. McBride trying to cut him off, but McConnell can't be stopped all the way to the basket. Lays it in with his left hand, and India has equaled its largest lead of 9, 94-85.
So if we go back to that last play by Josh Hart, the presence of Isaiah Jackson is lingering strong enough that Hart rushes the layup attempt.
Too strong on that attempt. Knicks get it across the timeline and call timeout with 10:28 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Pacers lead the Knicks 94 to 85. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
When Mercedes-Benz owners choose Open Road of Bridgewater, they choose the best of the best, because at Open Road Bridgewater, you can be sure to find excellent service, excellent pricing, and first-class experience. And that's why Mercedes-Benz named them the best of the best. They're honored to receive this prestigious award. Choose the best of the best. Choose Open Road of Bridgewater on Route 22 East, or visit them online at openroadmercedesbenz.com.
I'm a New Yorker. I want to contribute to public safety.
I want a six-figure salary.
I want to get paid after I retire.
I want to take my kids on vacation.
New York City Department of Correction Officer jobs are available now for strong, brave, bold New Yorkers with problem-solving and communication skills. Most earn more than $85,000 in their first year. Register today. Search the words City Exams on your phone, click, then scroll to Correction Officer.
On a serve with a purpose, take the test. Join, discover, New York City Corrections, take the test.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
Back here at the Garden, round 2, game 1, fourth quarter, 10:28 to go, and the Pacers lead the Knicks 94-85. Knicks beginning this fourth quarter with Jalen Brunson on the bench. Tom Thibodeau calling a timeout moments ago. Not sure how much longer Brunson will remain on the Knicks bench.
You just talked it up, partner. He's heading to the scorer's table. The bench productivity continues to jump out at you, but in the fourth quarter, there's low expectation of head coach Tom Thibodeau to go away from what he's most comfortable with unless a guy gets in foul trouble, knock on wood. The points in the paint really have kind of opened up. There was a 4-point margin to end the third quarter after both teams were sitting on 46. So really that's probably in the last 2 minutes of the third, and now it's a 6-point margin in that category. But one of the keys we talked about that really jumps out at you, the Knicks have just 5 offensive rebounds in this ballgame.
That was such a point of emphasis before the game. A lot of questions for Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. Our statistician Harry Robinson reminding us that turnover is a big part of the story as well.
Yeah, it sure is.
11 for the Knicks, just 3 for the Pacers. As Brunson is back in, dribbling with the left hand on the left wing. Turns in the lane, floats it up, can't get the roll, but draws the foul.
In the comparison of energy exerted, has T.J. McConnell done the best job of guarding Jalen Brunson we've seen this postseason?
Brunson has 22 points. He has certainly had to work for them. First free throw for Brunson is good. The foul was against McConnell, his second, and it's the second team foul against the Pacers here in the fourth. So Tom Thibodeau, with his team trailing by 8, 10-17 to go, has Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson on the floor. Both free throws good for Brunson. Knicks are down by 7. McConnell running the point for the Pacers. Brings it right side, cut off by Hart. High post for Jackson. McConnell gets it back just inside the midcourt line. Right wing, Shepard pops out, open 3. That's short. Hit the net, but was short. Up top for McConnell, his pass is deflected by Robinson, out of bounds. Shot clock did not reset. 2.2 seconds to go for the Pacers to get a shot off.
A great defensive play there by Mitchell Robinson as Jalen Brunson shouts out instructions to his teammates defensively.
Inbound pass to Jackson, gives it right to McConnell. Let's fly. No good. Didn't hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation with 9:51 to go in the fourth.
Allow this to help create some momentum here in the Garden. This is where you want to see these Knicks fans getting loud and energetic.
Starting to get into it. 94-87. Knicks down by 7. 9:45 to go. Brunson across the timeline. McConnell guards him. Brunson drives around him towards the foul line. Steps through the defenders and is blocked from behind out of bounds by Jackson.
Jalen Brunson is operating in a crowd. There were at least 3 yellow jerseys swarming him. He's having to work so hard.
34 minutes, 8 for 17 from the floor. And we've got a whistle before the inbound against the Pacers. Against Ben Shepherd in the middle of the paint. So that'll be a free throw for the Knicks. And then they retain possession.
Beyond that, partner, I am baffled that the Knicks are not getting more activity in their half-court set to test this Pacers defense beyond Jalen Brunson having to manufacture all of the offense.
Brunson's free throw is good. He's got 25 points. All 5 Knicks starters in double figures. DiVincenzo right corner off the inbound, and another whistle as Brunson hits the floor. This is against Obi Toppin, and it's the team's 4th foul of the fourth quarter with 9:38 to play. So 2 very quick foul calls against the Pacers in succession. Knicks will inbound again. Front court, right side. Brunson has it back. Driving on McConnell. Floats it up off the back of the rim. Robinson battling for the offensive rebound and pulls it. Hands to Hart. Straight line drive. Two-handed slam. Josh Hart. Knicks down by 4.
The Knicks have to find a way to get more looks like that. Looks where they are not catching the ball and waiting for screens to come. Catching the ball, pump faking, doing all this, looking people off. You got to just go and be aggressive. The more you play with the basketball, the more time you give the Pacers to adjust to the rotations that they want for people to match up accordingly or get in help position. Josh Hart aggressively to the rim. That's the formula down the stretch.
Indy calls timeout, partner. I did it myself with 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Pacers now lead the Knicks 94-90. Knicks trying to make a run here in quarter number 4. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary health care when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Back here at the Garden, 9:25 to go fourth quarter. Knicks back within 4. Trailing the Pacers 94-90. Monica, for the most part tonight, the Pacers have done a good job keeping the Knicks off the offensive glass. That last bucket, a Josh Hart dunk, was set up on a good hustle offensive rebound from Mitchell Robinson.
Robinson had to tip that basketball multiple times to keep it alive and just used great hands. But once the Knicks gathered, partner, and I'm going to continue to point this out down the stretch, Josh Hart did not hesitate. He didn't pump fake. He attacked the open space. The Knicks have to look to be more decisive, and that includes everybody, not just Jalen Brunson.
Josh Hart has 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. It's his 7th career playoff double-double and his 4th of this postseason. Pacers ball, Tyrese Halliburton back in, McConnell on the bench. DiVincenzo guards Halliburton, left side of the arc, doing a good job on him. Halliburton breaks free, kicks it out, right side Nembhard. At the foul line, steps through, his pass is deflected. Loose ball picked up by Jackson. 2 seconds to shoot. Jackson lays it up. No good. Anunoby the rebound. Quick outlet to Hart. DiVincenzo, one dribble, lines up a 3, knocks it down. Knicks are within a point. Quickly the other way, it's Neesmith up top for Halliburton. Circling around the screen, left wing Nembhard. Halliburton has it back. DiVincenzo closes out on him on the left side. Chance of defense at the Garden. Slip pass inside. Siakam underneath. Jackson reverse layup is good with the left hand. Knicks trail 96-93.
Isaiah Jackson has 8 points in this ball game. His activity has just been consistent tonight, and he's in the right place at the right time for the Pacers.
Dante DiVincenzo hot in the second half. Has 22 for the game. Brunson brings it right side of the arc. Knicks with the ball down by 3. Brunson setting up Nembhard. Flips through. Floats it up. Blocked by Jackson. That's a goaltend. Count the basket for Brunson. Knicks back within a point.
So we just talked about being decisive. There is about a second, maybe a second and a half, when Jalen Brunson comes off of the screen that he can pitch the basketball back to whoever set the screen before this Pacers defense rotates.
8:10 to go in the fourth. Jackson working from the top of the arc. Hands the ball. Neesmith, straight line drive, and slams it down over Robinson. Hart quickly inbounds the ball. Knicks into the front court, trailing 98-95. Brunson top of the arc, guarded by Nembhard. Euro step, floats it into the corner, pass deflected and stolen away into the hands of Jackson. In the front court, Neesmith gets free for an open layup, and it's 100-95. Knicks trail by 5.
All of that energy, you could hear it swing back in the other direction here in the Garden. It's still just a 5-point game, but that's the type of plays that the Pacers get.
7:30 to go. Brunson spin move, step back, 17-footer straight on is good. Knicks within 3. 29 for Jalen Brunson. 7:20 to go in the fourth from this game number 1. Halliburton guarded by DiVincenzo, drives left side. Foul line pass for Siakam up top. Jackson. Siakam gets it back, wants to drive, pulls up to the foul line. High archer, no. Hart taps the rebound. So does Anunoby. It's loose. Taken away by Anunoby. Outlet pass to Brunson across the timeline. Knicks down by 3. Brunson for 3. Front rim, no. Robinson battling for the offensive board, crashing the glass, and he went over the back.
Because of how difficult it's been to execute in the half court, and because of who he is, he's earned the equity. I'm okay with Jalen Brunson going for the highlight 3 and ties, even though nobody was really down the floor yet to help offensive rebound. Mitchell Robinson was trailing, which is why he picked up this foul.
It's Robinson's 3rd foul. He goes to the bench, replaced by Hartenstein. 6:50 to go. Pacers a 3-point lead in the ball. Nembhard guarded loosely by Hart. Left side of the arc. Up top for Turner. Nembhard gets it back. Drives and is cut off by Hartenstein. Shoots over him and knocks it down from 12 feet away. 102-97. Coming up on 6.5 to play. Nembhard has 7. Brunson across the timeline. Nembhard guards him. Now Neesmith switches on to Brunson. Brings it right wing. Still driving. Brunson all the way to the basket. Lays it in. Off the glass and in.
He's just so tough as Jalen Brunson.
102-99. Brunson time here in the fourth quarter. Nembhard at the top of the key. Right wing Turner. Nembhard gets it back. Chased around by Anunoby. Gets all the way to the basket. No, but a foul as Andrew Nembhard somehow squirted through the Knicks defense and drew the foul.
One thing about these Pacers guards is they manage to keep their dribble alive in tight spaces, and when they get to the rim, they're just going for it with confidence.
First foul against OG Anunoby. Andrew Nembhard at the line for the first time tonight. First free throw is good. Makes it 103-99 with 6:05 to play.
Head coach Tom Thibodeau has 2 timeouts remaining. That's going to be important, not just for late game situations, but you might need to deploy one of those to give these guys a little bit of extra rest for a final push.
He has 2. Rick Carlisle of the Pacers has 3 timeouts remaining. Pacers have committed 14 fouls. They did that very early in this fourth quarter. They haven't yet picked up their 5th, but the Knicks will be in the bonus on the next team foul by Indy.
Interesting here that the Knicks are sending OG Anunoby and Dante DiVincenzo back already, as if they haven't had difficulties inbounding the basketball.
Both free throws are good. Knicks down by 5. Hartenstein's going to have to bring it up himself. Gets it across the timeline, finds a wide open Hart, has a runway to the basket, flips it up, count it, and the foul.
Josh Hart to the rim. Ding, 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 ding.
21 points for Josh Hart to go along with 11 rebounds and 7 assists. Miles Turner is called for the foul, his 3rd.
Now, if that is going to be the play, inbound to a big, dribble until the Pacers send the double team to give Josh Hart a running start, attacking the paint, sign me up.
Misses the free throw, gets the rebound, lays it in. We're tied at 104 with 5:50 to go.
On a night where offensive rebounds have been scarce to come by, Josh Hart gets a big one.
Rebounded his own missed free throw and put it back. 5:40 left. Turner nearly lost the handle, gets it into the hands of Nembhard. Hard guards Nembhard from the top of the arc. Crossover dribble, loses his footing, flips it to Turner, and a foul is called. As Nembhard lost his footing, DiVincenzo is called for the foul on the swipe in. His arms are extended, but Tom Thibodeau taking another look at this.
Jalen Brunson actually waved him off on the challenge consideration.
It is charged to Josh Hart. They're saying the foul is against Josh Hart and not DiVincenzo with 5:31 to go in the 4th.
It looks like Nembhard's right foot, Pat, makes contact with Josh's. I guess that's his right as well.
The Pacers inbound, leading 104-103 here in the 4th. Halliburton just inside midcourt, leaves his feet, dangerous pass, and there's a foul away from the ball, and this one's going to go against Jalen Brunson with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Wow, that one seems exceptionally light.
And Brunson bumping into Miles Turner on the entry pass, and just like that, Monica, the Knicks are in the penalty, sending Miles Turner to the free throw line, and there were 4 seconds left on the shot clock. First free throw for Turner is good. So 5:21 to go in the 4th. Knicks down 2. One more free throw coming for Turner. In and out. Anunoby the rebound. Outlet to Brunson. Knicks ball down 2. Coming up on 5:15 to play in the 4th. Nembhard guarding Brunson across the timeline. Brings it left side. Hesitation dribble. Defender on his hip. Finds Anunoby on the right side. Up top, DiVincenzo. One dribble. Three-pointer. Off the front of the rim. Hart. Offensive rebound in traffic. Out to Brunson. Fires away. Ball goes in, but the basket doesn't count. There was a whistle before the shot attempt by Brunson. What is this whistle? It's a foul against Pascal Siakam against Josh Hart. The 4th foul on Siakam. It was on the floor, but the Knicks are in the bonus, so Josh Hart will go to the line. 2 shots and a chance to tie.
Josh Hart, the only guy in the ball game with a double-double. OG Anunoby is flirting with it with 11 points and 9 rebounds as he knocks down his 5th free throw of the night on 7 attempts.
One more coming for Hart as he hits the first, second one. Goes around and off. So Hart goes 1 for 2. Knicks still trail 105-104. Here's Siakam right side, cut off by Anunoby. 4:55 to go. Step back 14-foot jumper is good for Pascal Siakam, giving him 15 points. Knicks trail 107-104, 4:45 to go in the fourth. Brunson across the timeline, left wing. In and out dribble to the basket, lays it up, no good, too strong. Rebounded by Nesmith, outlet to Halliburton. Hart closes out on him. Now here's Nembhard, floater 12 feet away, back rim, no. Hart has the rebound taken away from him by Nesmith, who is fouled by Josh Hart, and that's going to be Hart's third.
I'm just a little bit puzzled today why there are no Knicks in the vicinity. It makes sense. You're trying to create space for Jalen Brunson to attack. You don't want them to be able to easily double-team you. But this offensive rebound is truly unlike this team.
Aaron Nesmith to the line. First free throw attempt is good. So that makes it a 4-point game, 108-104, with 4:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Nesmith tonight, a point away from reaching double figures. He does as he makes the second. So the Knicks down 5. Some full court pressure being shown by the Pacers. 4:20 to go. Brunson across the timeline. Nembhard picks him up. Left side. Brunson with the left-handed dribble. Now Nesmith on the switch. Drives on him. Picks up his dribble up top for Hart. Shot clock at 8. Hart brings it left wing. Nesmith guarding him. Brunson pops back out. 4 seconds to shoot. Brunson fires a 3. Knocks it down. Over Nembhard. Knicks trail 109-107.
The big basket. I'm over here internally thinking to myself, you got to go. But Jalen Brunson is poised with the jab step, lines up for 3.
His first three-pointer of the game. He's got 34 points. Lob pass, high post, Turner gives it back to Halliburton. Knocked away and stolen by Anunoby. Hands it to DiVincenzo. Knicks down by 2, 3:40 to go. Cross-court pass hard on the right side. Couple dribbles, hands to Brunson. Turns and faces on Nesmith. They clear out for their all-star point guard. Brunson one-on-one with Nesmith. Drives in the paint. Knocked out of his hands, but he's fouled.
Tom Thibodeau spread his arms wide to signal that clear out to give Jalen Brunson room to operate. You want to give JB that space, but it has put them at a disadvantage with the Pacers' high level of focus on rebounding in this ballgame.
Big free throws coming up for Jalen Brunson, already sitting on a 34-point night. Knicks trail 109-107. Brunson's first is good. One free throw to come for Jalen Brunson, but Rick Carlisle calls timeout, his use it or lose it timeout, with 3:29 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Pacers leading 109-108.
Both teams, I'm sure, are locking in on what's been most important to them tonight. Carlisle is probably telling his guys to continue to execute. The Knicks are struggling to stop you when you are curling off of screens, and look for Pascal Siakam, who's been able to establish position in that mid-post area and has been a load to guard for OG Anunoby. And, of course, stay on the glass. On the other end for the Knicks, you're going to continue to spread the floor to give JB room to operate. But you, in turn, have got to come up with some of these offensive rebounds late in this ballgame. It has been your identity. It has been your signature. It's who you are. Defensively, you have to communicate. You're going to have to contest, and you're going to have to get defensive rebounds as well.
Knicks have done a better job on the offensive glass in the second half. For the game, they have 8 offensive rebounds, leading to 16 second-chance points. Not their usual level of dominance that we saw, for example, in the first-round series against Philadelphia. To reset things, one more free throw coming for Jalen Brunson. Knicks trail 109-108, 3:29 to go in the fourth. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. Each team is in the bonus, and each head coach still has his challenge available. 13 of Jalen Brunson's 35 points coming in this fourth quarter. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. Second free throw for Jalen Brunson is good, and we are all tied at 109 with 3:29 to go in Game 1 of this second-round series. Each team with its starting 5 on the floor. Halliburton across the timeline, drives on DiVincenzo, cuts him off, cross-court pass, Nesmith. Up top for Turner and gives it back to Halliburton between the circles. His pass is deflected. Anunoby tries to save it and does. To the basket. Slams it home. And the Knicks lead 111-109.
Great read on the weak side by OG Anunoby coming up with that loose basketball.
Quickly the other way, it's Siakam driving on Anunoby. Spins, flips it up, no good. Hartenstein the rebound, outlet to Hart. 2:55 to go. Knicks with the ball and a 2-point lead.
Andrew Nembhard is face guarding Jalen Brunson.
Hart has the ball, dribbles left side and gives it to Brunson between the circles. Shot clock is down to 10. Tom Thibodeau calling for a clear out. Brunson pulls up for the foul line, knocks it down. Knicks lead 113-109. Halliburton across the timeline with 2:35 to go. DiVincenzo chases him. Halliburton has it back around the screen, and there's a foul. DiVincenzo trying to run through the screen of Aaron Nesmith. He fouled him, and for Dante DiVincenzo, that is his 5th personal foul. Knicks are over the limit. That will send Aaron Nesmith to the foul line with 2:30 to go. And the Knicks leading 113-109.
What a sequence. Nesmith so far tonight has been 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Make that 5 of 5 as he knocks down the first of 2. The Pacers are certainly not going to hang their head, partner. We're talking about a one-possession ball game. And so the Knicks have to continue to be strong and controlled with the basketball.
Nesmith was 14 for 15 from the line in round 1. Hits them both here. Back to a 2-point game. 113-111, full court pressure. Hart has to get it in. Finds Anunoby. Right back to Hart in the backcourt. 2:25 to go. Knicks by 2. Hart across the timeline with the right-handed dribble. Looking for Brunson. Nembhard face guarding it. Hart gets in space. Takes it to the basket. Bounce pass inside. No one's there. It's stolen away by Halliburton. Outlet pass Nembhard. One dribble into Siakam. Lays it in off the glass, and we're tied at 113. 2:05 to go in the fourth. More full court pressure. Brunson with the ball, pestered by Nembhard. Has to get it over the timeline and does with a second to spare. We are under 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter in a tie ball game at 113. Brunson working from the left side, knocked out of his hands, but a reach-in foul against Tyrese Halliburton, who immediately suggests that his head coach challenged the call.
Tyrese Halliburton is on the bench with his teammates.
He's actually looking at the iPad himself. Rick Carlisle calls timeout, and he is going to challenge this foul that was called on Tyrese Halliburton.
Whether this goes in the favor of the Knicks or not, obviously it's going to be a big call. But unlike what we saw versus Philly, where the Knicks and Jalen Brunson,
Indiana's challenging the rule.
The Knicks and Jalen Brunson were able to see the traps coming because of the space on the floor so that they could distribute the basketball to the weak side. It's not been the case here versus Indiana.
Monica, as they review this last call, the important thing to note, just like with the previous successful challenge for the Knicks, the ball bounced right into the hands of the Pacers. So if this is overturned, it will be Indiana possession due to imminent possession as it rolled right into the hands of Pascal Siakam.
From what we're seeing on the Madison Square Garden Jumbotron here, I don't see a strong angle to overturn this with confidence.
So as our officials continue to take a look, Zach Zarba and Sean Wright with Tyler Ford close by. We've got 1:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Knicks and Pacers are tied at 113. Pacers have scored the last 4 points. Now, if this challenge is unsuccessful, the Pacers would be down to 1 timeout, and they would have lost their challenge for the remainder of the game. Here's Zach Zarba.
Irvin and Halliburton made legal contact with the basketball. It is a successful challenge. Imminent possession goes to Indiana as they recover the loose ball. It's a successful challenge.
So each coach successful on his first challenge, and that is a big one because not only does Brunson not go to the foul line, but it's a turnover, and the Pacers will get possession with 1:51 to go in the tie game.
This is where you hang your hat on who you've been all season, not as a team that has the ability to defend. More than anything, you almost find silver lining in that challenge because it's a timeout by default, and you had a chance to recharge and regroup for this final stretch.
Pacers get that timeout back. They have 2 remaining. Nembhard across the timeline around a Turner screen. Picks up his dribble up top for Halliburton. Tries to drive on Hart, gives it back to Nembhard on the left side. Minute 38 to go. Nembhard around DiVincenzo to the basket, lays it in off the glass. 6 straight points for the Pacers. They lead 115-113. More full court pressure against Brunson. Has to work hard to get it across the timeline and does. Nembhard chasing him around. Minute 25 to go at the Garden. Knicks down 2 with the ball. Brunson between the circles. One-on-one with Nembhard from the top of the arc. Stutter step inside the paint. Picks up his dribble. Fallback jumper is good. And we're tied at 1:15 with a minute and 14 to play.
In the moments that it matters most, Jalen Brunson's poise and footwork are on display.
40 points for Jalen Brunson here at the Garden. Nembhard working left side, step back, wide open three, spins out. Brunson swoops in for the rebound. We're under a minute to play in a tie ball game. Brunson across the timeline. His pass is kicked. A late whistle. It's a kickball called against Aaron Nesmith, and he wants this one challenged.
Wow.
It was a bounce pass thrown by Jalen Brunson that appeared pretty clearly to be kicked away by Aaron Nesmith. Rick Carlisle is not challenged.
It feels as if the Pacers staff are like, it's fine, look at the shot clock, so they don't challenge.
1:15 all, shot clock is down to 13. Brunson right side, one-on-one with Nembhard. Backing his way in at the top of the key. Shot clock down to 6. DiVincenzo, deep three, left side. That's good! And the Knicks are on top by 3 with 39 seconds to go.
You got to get back and defend. And even in your best defensive effort tonight, a guy like Andrew Nembhard, who scored that last basket, has been crafty enough around the rim. But in that moment, the poise, 16 seconds on the inbound, Jalen Brunson reading the defense, collapsing to him this time and not forcing it. One-handed pass, Donte DiVincenzo, the big ragu. He wouldn't give me the recipe, Pat, but he knocked down a huge three to give this team a lead with 39.4 to go.
Timeout Indiana. 39.4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Knicks lead 118-115. Donte DiVincenzo, his 5th three-pointer of the night, and he's got 25 points. You look at the Knicks scorers tonight, Brunson with another 40-point game. That's 4 in a row. DiVincenzo, 25. Hart, 24 to go along with 13 rebounds and 8 assists, as Tom Thibodeau has relied heavily upon his starting 5. But they're going to need another stop here. 39 seconds to go. Knicks lead by 3. Pacers have the ball. And India's down to 1 timeout.
It would not surprise me that if the Pacers look to go quickly here, try their luck on the offensive glass, and then they would have the opportunity, if there's obviously more than 24 seconds left, to score the final possession.
Starting 5 back out on the floor for the Knicks. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, Anunoby, and Hartenstein. Same for the Pacers. Nembhard will inbound. Front court, left side. Siakam's in the backcourt and has the ball. Siakam brings it across the timeline, drives, cut off by DiVincenzo, falls to the floor, gets it into the hands of Nesmith. He nearly slips. Shot clock down to 15. Back in the hands of Siakam, driving on Anunoby, gets to the basket, lays it in off the glass. 118-117, 26 seconds to go. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Brunson has the ball knocked out of his hands. It goes out of bounds. There's no signal on possession.
Tyler Ford signals Indiana ball.
And the Knicks want this one reviewed. Jalen Brunson was cut off by Andrew Nembhard. Dribbling the ball, it rolled out of bounds. And it looks like, as we just see the review here, Monica, it went off the left leg of Andrew Nembhard. The left leg of that,
yes, indeed, the shin tap area.
So the call on the floor is Pacers ball. Tom Thibodeau calls timeout to challenge. And while they take a look at this, let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
Pat O'Keefe, Monica McNutt, Madison Square Garden. What a game 1 this has been. 22 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Knicks 118, Pacers 117. The call on the floor a moment ago was out of bounds off of the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau has called timeout to challenge the ruling, and from what we can see on Garden Vision, Monica, it appears that this call is going to be overturned, and the Knicks should get possession.
I am fascinated, though, partner, that Tyler Ford could make that call from the sideline closest to us, and the play happens on the sideline closest to the Pacers bench. He didn't have the vantage point. He should have let the officials come together and possibly go review, and then Coach Thibodeau doesn't have to use his challenge because they didn't know.
Nembhard's left leg. It is a successful challenge. New York basketball with 22.4 on the game clock, 19 on the shot clock.
So a successful challenge again for Tom Thibodeau. He's 2 for 2 tonight, but he's out of challenges now. Knicks do get that timeout back with 22.4 seconds to go. The shot clock does not move. It's still at 19 seconds. So we've got a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
The Knicks, however, did get to advance the basketball and are inbounding it in front of their bench.
So Tom Thibodeau, out of the timeout, electing to move the ball into the front court to inbound it in the front court. So the Knicks do not get their timeout back. That's Tom Thibodeau's choice. Front court right side. DiVincenzo to throw it in. Finds Brunson. Has trouble handling it. Now has it. He's double teamed right in front of the Knicks bench. Leaves his feet. Throws it out of bounds hard off of Halliburton. It goes out of bounds. But it's Pacers ball. Zach Zarba ruling it's off the Knicks. And the Knicks are out of challenges. 18.4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Pacers get possession in the backcourt. And the shot clock is off.
Jalen Brunson was already out of bounds when the ball hit him.
Wow. So the Knicks turn it over. Deuce McBride off the Knicks bench. He's going to replace Brunson for this defensive possession. So the shot clock is off. Pacers have the ball down by 1. 18.4 seconds to go. And they have a chance to take the lead here in the closing seconds. Halliburton off the inbound. Here we go. Garden crowd on its feet. Into the front court. Halliburton guarded by DiVincenzo. And Miles Turner sets an illegal screen. DiVincenzo falls to the floor. It's an offensive foul against the Pacers with 12.1 seconds to play.
The Pacers staff is confirming they do have a challenge left, but it doesn't look like they're going to use it here.
118-117. Knicks lead. 12.1 seconds to go. And now Rick Carlisle is going to call timeout. You might as well use it at this point.
You're right. They're going to. And this takes me back to the Women's National Championship game.
Offensive foul. Indiana's challenge in the room.
Man, that's a tough call.
Well, DiVincenzo certainly sold it. And we're watching again. Turner set the screen in between the circles. DiVincenzo ran into him.
Now, similar to the call that made waves nationally when Aaliyah Boston was called for this in the semifinal game for UConn, Miles Turner does move his right foot. By the letter of the law, he is not stationary.
That was the controversial play between UConn and Iowa that sent Caitlin Clark in Iowa to the national championship game at the end of a fantastic Final Four game. This has been a terrific game here at the Garden. Back and forth, fourth quarter. Knicks right now lead 118-117 with 12.1 seconds to go. The call on the floor.
It's determined that Turner does not give his opponent time to stop or change direction on this screen. Therefore, it's an unsuccessful challenge and an illegal screen on Turner. Ruling on the floor stands.
Offensive foul called against Miles Turner stands. So Knicks ball up by 1, 12.7 seconds to go. Both teams are out of challenges, and that was the Pacers' final timeout.
Right, and just to clarify, more than that foot moving, it was the room that was not given for Donte DiVincenzo to work around that screen. Now, we just saw 2 possessions, though, partner, where the Knicks failed to get the ball in smoothly. Can we please get an inbound play?
If they do get in trouble, the Knicks have 1 timeout remaining. They inbound in the backcourt on the left side. DiVincenzo to throw it in, and we've got a whistle before the ball can be inbounded. It's a foul against the Pacers, and that will send the Knicks to the free throw line for 1 shot, and they retain possession.
Really, really smart basketball play by Jalen Brunson. He breaks into a full-out sprint to get that basketball, catching Nembhard slightly off guard. It's a tug of the jersey. You can't do that.
Big free throw here for Brunson. Knicks leading by a point. Free throw is up and good. 2-point lead for the Knicks. 119-117. 12.7 seconds to go. Knicks will inbound from the same spot in the backcourt on the left side.
Two ball handlers, point guards, I should say, in with Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson.
DiVincenzo inbounding, looking, gives it to Brunson across the timeline. Brunson is pushed by Nembhard with 10.7 seconds to go. Brunson will go to the free throw line. Fifth foul against Andrew Nembhard. And Brunson with a chance to make this a 4-point game if he can knock down both free throws.
I'm so glad you're on the lead play-by-play, because I was definitely about to say 3. I can't do math. We do not want to get that wrong. 4 points is better than 3 in this scenario.
A 2-possession game, that would make it. First free throw coming up for Brunson.
Here on the baseline side closest to us, Fat Joe is imploring this Knicks crowd to be quiet.
And they have obliged. First free throw for Brunson is good. His 42nd point of the night. It's 120 to 117. And again, a very big one coming up here that could make it a 4-point Knicks lead.
Now, with the speed that the Pacers look to play with, as Jalen Brunson has an opportunity to score 21 now in this quarter, miss or make, you got to be attentive defensively.
Pacers don't have any timeouts. Brunson sets himself for the second. His team leading by 3 with 10 seconds left. Free throw is good. Knicks up by 4. Pacers got to go. Siakam will inbound in the backcourt. Into the hands of Nembhard. Ahead for Halliburton. One dribble underneath Gathers. Knocked away by Hart. Stolen by McBride. Taken by Anunoby. Dribbles towards midcourt. Game 1 goes to the Knicks. 121 to 117.
3 quarters of gritty basketball. Slightly uncharacteristic in that the Knicks only had 5 offensive rebounds at the end of the 3-quarter mark. But in the fourth, they find their way behind Jalen Brunson's tremendous effort. Donte DiVincenzo getting hot from behind the 3-point line. And Josh Hart with another playoff double-double of 24 points and 13 rebounds. When it mattered the most, their preparation and their basketball IQ shone through.
Those were the stars, the Villanova boys, certainly getting it done and leading the way tonight. Brunson finishes with 43 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a perfect 14 for 14 from the free throw line. Donte DiVincenzo came on big in the second half, 25 points, hit the biggest three-pointer of the game, 5 for 9 from downtown, and Josh Hart, nearly a triple-double, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals, while playing all 48 minutes as the Knicks win this one 121 to 117 in come-from-behind fashion here in Indiana. And outside the Knicks locker room, Josh Hart joining us now, fresh off the court. Josh, tremendous performance, tremendous fourth quarter for you guys. How tough of an environment was this out there? It looked like it was a grind.
Yeah, it was a tough one. That's a hell of an offensive team. So we knew it was going to be tough. We got to get back to the drawing board tomorrow. We got to get better defensively. We can't allow a team to shoot, 50% from the field, 40% from 3. So we got to keep learning and get better.
Josh, it felt like tonight you at one point were the best offensive option in terms of just pushing the ball in transition. How did the Pacers make it so difficult for you guys to get into quality steps through the first 3 quarters?
Yeah, we knew they were going to be tough. Neesmith, Nembhard, McConnell, picking up full court. So we were getting kind of complacent. Not complacent, but we were kind of getting really slow getting into our set. So the best offense at a certain point was just getting the rebound or getting the quick outlet and running.
Josh, these guys certainly brought it tonight. As you said, you guys fell behind by 5, 7, 9 a couple times in that second half. How were you able to keep your composure and pull this win out?
I think we were being solid. We got some good stops, some great individual plays, and I think that was the biggest thing. So we got to, like I said, we got to get better defensively. We got to get better in the game situations, not turning the ball open, getting open. But we'll rather win. We'll rather learn on a win than a loss.
Yeah, and I know you guys learn and take advantage of the opportunities to make it right. You have that on Thursday. Great game, Josh.
Appreciate it.
Good job. Josh Hart outside the Knicks locker room. 121-117 victory for the Knicks here in Game 1. Boy, we thought the Philly series was...
Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. So I think tip of the cap to the Knicks, right? You survive being outmatched in bench productivity 46-3, right? And for much of the ball game, rebounding teetered on being even, and like you said, just 5 offensive rebounds at the end of the third quarter. But ultimately, you emerge from this one. You crawl out of the ashes shooting almost 50% from the three-point line, holding your own in points in the paint with 58, and then in the fast break category, finding 20 of your own. But goodness gracious, I mean, we're just at that point in the season where the margins are so slim.
Whatever it takes to get it done. That's been the mantra for this team all season long. That was certainly the case here tonight in game number 1. Really good start to this series for the Knicks as they pull this one out 121-117. Game 2 will be here on Wednesday night inside the world's most famous arena. But plenty to talk about from game 1. That is coming up next on the post-game show. We'll join Dan Grassa for that. Again, the final score here at the Garden, Knicks 121 and the Pacers 117. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
It all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
Made it.
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get 0% APR financing on a new 2024 Nissan Altima SR VC Turbo. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. For well-qualified buyers, subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. See dealer for financing details. Ends June 3rd, 2024.
The NBA playoffs are here, and we all know playoff mode is a thing. Listen to the evidence. Playoff crowds are going wild. Playoff players are lighting up the court. Even the speakers are in playoff mode. Okay, we'll take it down a notch, but just a notch, because this is to turn it up to 11 NBA playoffs. Playoff mode is clearly a thing.
It's what you love about playoff basketball.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel continue on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
Welcome to the New York Knicks post-game show. Now here's Dan Grassa.
And we welcome into the New York Knicks post-game show. Dan Grassa with you. Well, back in the 90s, the Knicks and Pacers met 6 times in the postseason during an 8-year stretch. Tonight, though, the first playoff series between the teams since 2013. Rivalry renewed after both needed 6 games to advance in round number 1. Knicks, however, found themselves down 9 early in the fourth quarter, but some gutty play over the ensuing minutes. Game was tied even with a little over a minute remaining, but in the end, the Knicks did what they had to do, made some clutch free throws down the stretch. Indiana a little careless with the basketball. Knicks take advantage, and they escape with a 121-117 Game 1 victory over the Indiana Pacers. Plenty to break down, so let's do it right now with the dynamic duo that called the game, Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. Monica, where do we start on this one? You and I talked about pace in the pregame show. Everybody knows how Indiana likes to get up and down the floor. This game was played at the pace Indiana's comfortable with, which I think speaks even greater volumes about the Knicks' ability to withstand that and still escape with a victory.
So, all of my thoughts this morning and my ruminations that I tapped in with Knicks fans to share on Instagram sort of came true. I thought that the Knicks could muster up the points. I wasn't sure that Indiana could muster up the defense. And even though they did a great job on the glass tonight, limiting, both teams had 5 offensive rebounds at the end of the third quarter, there were just a few more plays made in that fourth quarter that are a tribute to who the Knicks have been on the glass and defensively all season long. And, of course, I'll call a little bit of home court cooking, as I'm sure much of the country will be discussing the illegal foul call against Miles Turner. But ultimately, to Jalen Brunson's phrase, the Knicks find a way.
And it's a city of stars, right? City of performances. Maybe Dante DiVincenzo taking some liberties there with his acting job on that. But you know what? No harm, no foul, as they like to say. And I'll tell you, look, Monica, it's a victory. You take it and move on. Still many things, obviously, they will probably tell you they'd need to clean up. But let's get back to Dante DiVincenzo for a second. We know how instrumental he was in the Game 6 victory against the Philadelphia 76ers. 4 points at halftime tonight, really a non-factor in the first two quarters. Quarters 3 and 4, totally different story, and we may not be sitting here talking about a Knicks win if not for Dante DiVincenzo's second-half performance.
Dan, say it with me. You know the phrase, shooter shoot to get hot and shooter shoot to stay hot. And
That's
that look that Dante DiVincenzo got to put this team up 3 with under 40 seconds to go, you can't ask for a better look at the shooter. And so you've got to go ahead and launch that thing with confidence. It was a great adjustment on the part of Jalen Brunson. We had just discussed how he was not getting off the basketball when the Pacers were sending the double team, and that time he did.
Absolutely. Monica, great stuff from you as always. I know you got to do a TV hit. We'll talk again coming up on Wednesday for game number 2. And Pat, let's continue the conversation about Dante DiVincenzo's backcourt mate, and that, of course, is generally the guy who's going to lead off everything, and that's Jalen Brunson. Let me throw some statistical history at you and the listeners here. Jalen Brunson tonight recorded his 5th consecutive playoff game where he registered 30-plus points to go with 5 or more assists. He is the 5th player in NBA history to accomplish that feat, joining the likes of such dignitaries as Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. I would say that's not too shabby.
It's unbelievable what he is putting together this postseason. And, you know, he really kind of, we knew how good he was during the regular season last year, but he took it up another notch in the playoffs, culminating with that 41-point performance in the Knicks season-ending loss last year to Miami. The All-NBA regular season, it hasn't become official yet, but we just kind of lived through that. And once again, he has taken it up a notch in the playoffs and is playing at such an unbelievably high level. The amazing thing about this, Dan, first of all, the minutes played for all of the starters. And look, that's going to continue to be a talking point as these playoffs go. Brunson played 43.5 minutes today. DiVincenzo was just under 44 minutes. Josh Hart didn't come off the floor. Anunoby 42 minutes. But back to Brunson. The amazing thing, I saw it. Monica pointed it out several times throughout the game. It felt like T.J. McConnell did as good a job as you could do defensively on Brunson. They made what's the formula for trying to stop a guy like this? Make him work extra hard to get himself free, to get himself open looks. The Pacers did exactly that. That's why McConnell played so much in this game off the bench. He ended up logging 22.5 minutes, and the entire time he was out there, he was an absolute pest for Jalen Brunson. And despite all of that, really through sheer will, which we are growing accustomed to seeing from this leader of this Knicks team, he wills himself to another 43-point night, and he always seems to do it in different ways, right? Tonight, not from downtown. He only hit 1 3-pointer, and it was huge. Of course, it came in the fourth quarter. And then the other part of it, the free throw line. He got there 14 times. He was a perfect 14 for 14 from the line, including those 2 big shots with 10 seconds to go. That made it a 4-point game and essentially ended any chance for a Pacers comeback.
And bigger picture, too, you speak about the free throw shooting, Pat. I mean, think about this team as a whole, 22 of 26. Solid job up and down the lineup tonight, because in games like this that are so tight, a point here, a point there could measure the difference in this game. And look, when you fast forward now and look ahead to game number 2 coming up on Wednesday, both teams are going to tell you there's things that they like, they didn't like about their game tonight here. But with the Knicks, I think that they kind of gave you the formula as to what we're going to see for the rest of the series. It's still going to be very starter heavy. I mean, whatever contributions you get from the bench, it's not going to be a ton of minutes. And you and Monica were talking about that bench production, the differential there. I mean, 46-3 in favor of the Indiana Pacers. If you're going to play the starters such heavy minutes like we saw tonight, it's just more incumbent upon those guys to make sure that they go out there and they produce like you would expect for the time they're on the floor.
That's seems to be the philosophy of Tom Thibodeau coming into this playoff series, is you get what you can get off of your bench. You know, Deuce McBride came in, a couple of tough shots to start. His first stint in the first half didn't last that long, and Tom Thibodeau didn't go to him much in the second half. You know, Mitchell Robinson got his 12 minutes. His second stint, the one where he came on for Hartenstein in the second half, was much more effective. He grabbed a couple of rebounds in his 12 minutes. We saw a short stint from Precious Achiuwa in the first half. But, you know, you talk about both teams can look at things that they can tweak and do better in game number 2. Obviously, for the Knicks, it is the bench. And it is also the offensive rebounding, although that came on at the end. They had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. In fact, the first half, the Pacers had more offensive rebounds than did the Knicks. The Knicks only ended up with 8 offensive rebounds, but they had some very big ones in the fourth quarter. They can do better in that area. They can do better in the bench scoring. Deuce McBride, coming into this game today, throughout the course of the playoffs, had the 3rd most points off the bench in the entire NBA playoffs. And if you're the Pacers, you came into Madison Square Garden, you almost won this game, and you didn't get a whole lot from your 2 best players, especially Tyrese Halliburton. Now, he was listed as questionable with some back soreness throughout the day, so I'm not sure how much that impacted him. He did play 36 minutes, but he only scored 6 points, only had 8 assists, and he turned the ball over 3 times, including a crucial one late in the fourth quarter. And Pascal Siakam, he finished with 19 points. I would term that kind of a quiet 19 points. He never really seemed to get into a really good rhythm. And despite their 2 all-star players not giving you all-star level performances, they could have come in here and won game 1. So I guess from that respect, they've got to feel decent about their chances for game 2.
Yeah, just the 1 3 ball from Pascal Siakam, and Halliburton, you can even see when he was on the sidelines, he kind of had that heating pad contraption around his waist on his back there treating it. So, look, it's the playoffs. You're going to try to play through everything, and we'll see what his condition is like in 48 hours. I'll leave you with this one, Pat. The Villanova trio for the Knickerbockers, Brunson, Hart, and DiVincenzo, they scored or assisted on 109 of the Knicks' 121 points in game number 1. So I would say not a bad night at the office for those 3.
They've had some really big games collectively as a group, but considering the magnitude of this one, what they needed from that group, and how important this game was down the stretch, this, I think, as a trio, has to go down as their best performance together.
No doubt about that. Pat, great stuff by you and Monica as always. We'll talk again on Wednesday night for a game number 2. Great job, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Talk to you then.
All right, that's Pat O'Keefe. He and Monica McNutt had the call of tonight's game, a 121-117 Knicks victory over the Indiana Pacers. And if history is any sort of a precedent, you might have heard the statistic leading up to game number 1. The Knicks as a franchise in their history were 0-6 lifetime when they had home court advantage in a best-of-7 and lost game 1 of the series at home. No need to put that into contention moving forward as they're able to escape with the triumph here to get the series off on the right note. We have plenty in store for you here on the New York Knicks postgame show. When we come back, we'll take a listen to the highlights. We'll get the thoughts of the head coach, Tom Thibodeau. We'll also hear some player reaction and check out the out-of-town scoreboard around the NBA. And New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
If you have experience working with young people, there are many who need your experience. Become a youth development specialist where you'll supervise and support young people in detention. It's challenging and rewarding. It's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary. It's using your life experience to make a positive impact on the lives of young New Yorkers. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Dan Grosser back in the New York Knicks post-game show. 121-117 the final tonight. The Knicks escape with a Game 1 victory over the Indiana Pacers. Take a time, listen to the highlights now to how this one all unfolded, and this is the Knicks' best parts of the game, brought to you by the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. The 8th time since 1993, the first since 2013, when the Knicks and Pacers have renewed their acquaintances in a postseason series in the spring. So a lot of anticipation for this one. Garden rockin'. Jalen Brunson, of course, the guy who stirs the drink for this Knicks attack, and he had his offense in full force early on in this one.
Nembhard picks him up in the front court, has to run around a Hartenstein screen. Brunson brings it left side to the block, off the glass and in. He's got 10. Knicks lead 12-8.
10 of the first 12 for the Knickerbockers came courtesy of Jalen Brunson, and a homecoming of sorts for one Indiana Pacer in particular. That would be Obi Toppin, who was drafted as a Knick, the New York native, was traded over to Indiana in July, comes off the bench for the Pacers, and very early after hearing his number called, got into it from downtown.
Toppin working from the left wing. One dribble, hands it to Halliburton. Shot clock down to 6. Halliburton trying to elude DiVincenzo. Steps back. Toppin fakes the 3 from the left corner. Fires again and knocks it down. And Obi Toppin good on his first attempt.
A familiar face here in the Garden.
Yeah, he had 12 points off the bench tonight, including a couple of threes to go with 6 rebounds in 19 minutes. So some quality minutes from Obi Toppin for the Indiana Pacers. We know this Indiana team likes to get out and run. Well, Knicks were doing just that late in the first quarter, and no better to do it than Josh Hart.
Here's Hart getting a step, coast to coast. Reverse layup is good. Knicks lead by 5. Josh Hart has 9 points.
Josh Hart has 9 points early, and the Knicks lead at the end of one quarter would be 3 at 27-24. Knicks actually had a biggest lead in the opening quarter of 8, but Indiana crept away and got it to within one possession at the end of one quarter. So how would the second quarter begin? Well, Indiana would get themselves a 4-point lead in the first couple of minutes, getting off to a nice little start, but OG Anunoby made sure that the Pacers didn't get too far out in front.
Hartenstein finds DiVincenzo open, left corner 3, rushed it off the back of the rim. Hart backtaps the rebound to Hartenstein. Gets up top, Anunoby steps into 1 and knocks down the 3.
Second 3 of the night for OG Anunoby. He has the Knicks back within 1. However, one thing Indiana excels at is their depth. They're going to play some guys. The guys are going to produce, and that was evident early on in this one. And maybe the biggest surprise, at least in the first half, was the contribution offensively from Ben Sheppard.
1:13 to go in the second. Knicks down by 4. Hard on the left wing. Towards the foul line with the drive. Poked away and stolen from behind. Halliburton got a hand on it. Halliburton lob for Sheppard. Lays it up and in. Pacers lead 52-46.
52-46, and Sheppard with 8 first-half points. Now, didn't score in the second half, but those 8 points came in handy for the visitors in the first 2 quarters of this game. Knicks were in a little bit of a trouble as the first half was coming to an end. They found themselves down by 9. Indiana really with all the momentum about to head into the halftime locker room, but Isaiah Hartenstein called for a wing and a prayer, and more importantly, 3 points for the Knicks.
Pacers lead by 6. DiVincenzo up on Halliburton on the left side. Uses the Siakam screen, pulls up for 3, and knocks it down. Pacers lead by 9. 2.5 seconds to go. Brunson looking to inbound. Finds Hartenstein. One dribble. Half court. It's good! Hartenstein from half court at the buzzer.
A 46-footer for Isaiah Hartenstein, so giving the Knicks maybe a little bit of momentum going into the locker room, trailing only by 6 at 55-49. Well, Knicks had some momentum to start that third quarter, and once again, scrappy play on the offensive end of the floor, attacking the glass, keeping possessions alive, and Isaiah Hartenstein with authority taking advantage.
Brunson grabs his third rebound. Brings it up himself. Drives at Nembhard. Gets to the foul line. Now veers off and backs it out behind the three-point arc. Nembhard still up on Brunson. Picks up his dribble. Slip past Hartenstein. High post. Right corner. Hart fakes the three. Down the lane. Hartenstein's 12-foot floater. No good off the back of the rim. Hart battling for the offensive rebound. Taps it to Anunoby. High post. Hartenstein slams it home.
Yeah, Josh Hart, one of his 13 rebounds on the night. Just heady play again. And for a guy who's only 6'4", gets up there and rebounds for a guard as well as anybody in the NBA. So the Knicks on a little bit of a spurt there. And Dante DiVincenzo had a relatively quiet first half, just 4 points. And we're accustomed to seeing him sink threes and connect from the outside. But Dante wanted to take it to the tin.
Energy off the bench for them. 62-60. Knicks down by 2. In the lane, Turner misses the dunk. Rebound bounces out to Anunoby. Hard bounce pass to DiVincenzo. He doesn't miss the dunk. We're tied at 62.
An 8-2 run for the Knickerbockers, and we are all even, as you heard Pat say, at 62 apiece. Then comes the part in the third quarter where DiVincenzo does what he's known for, and that's called connect from three.
DiVincenzo on the left baseline. He's guarded by Halliburton. Gives it up to Brunson. Jab step into the left corner. DiVincenzo open three is good. And the Knicks lead 71-68.
10 points in the third for DiVincenzo at that point, so the Knicks had a 3-point lead. They would grow the lead to 5 at 73-68, but then they started to get a little sloppy with the basketball. The turnovers would mount, and the Pacers would take advantage.
Miscommunication on the inbounds. Robinson saves it, but it's stolen by McConnell. Foul line Turner underneath. Compton reverse slam is good. 78-73.
And just like that, the Pacers on a 10-0 run grab a 5-point lead at 78-73. Knicks would fight back, though, late in the third quarter. They would get this one to within 2. Garden crowd was on their feet again, trying to will their team to a little bit of positive momentum heading to the end of that third quarter. However, we heard Isaiah Hartenstein beat the halftime buzzer. This time it was Indiana's big man who would do the same to close out the third.
Rebounded by Hart. Shot clock is off. Outlet DiVincenzo. Reverse layup is good. Around Turner. Quick outlet pass with 10 seconds. McConnell in the front court. Knicks down by 2. McConnell drives on Brunson. Into the corner. Shepard. One extra pass. Toppin. 1 second to go. Turner, a deep three-pointer, is good. Ahead of the buzzer. A step behind the three-point line, giving the Pacers a 5-point lead.
And Miles Turner would have a Indiana Pacer high 23 points on the night for the Pacers' big man. So we enter the fourth quarter. Knicks are down 5, and despite the fact things were getting a little sloppy, 10 turnovers through 3 quarters for the Knicks, leading to 14 points for the Indiana Pacers. They were still within striking distance. However, Knicks did not get off to the best of starts to begin the fourth quarter, and once again, T.J. McConnell off that Indiana bench provided a nice boost for them.
Shot clock is down to 6. Hart one-on-one with Toppin. Brings it right wing. Now cuts inside. Down the lane. Lays it up too strong. Rebounded by McConnell and looks to push. McBride trying to cut him off, but McConnell can't be stopped all the way to the basket. Lays it in with his left hand, and India has equaled its largest lead of 9, 94-85.
7-3 run to start for the Pacers. Still a lot of time left in the game, about 10 and a half minutes, but the Pacers were up 9, and you heard in that last highlight, the Garden crowd had gone silent. Things not looking too good for the home team at that moment. But as this team has done time and time again, they just find a way to be resilient. The Knicks go on an 8-0 run of their own, and Dante DiVincenzo at the center of it.
Nembhard at the foul line, steps through, his pass is deflected. Loose ball picked up by Jackson. 2 seconds to shoot. Jackson lays it up. No good. Anunoby the rebound. Quick outlet to Hart. DiVincenzo, one dribble, lines up a 3, knocks it down. Knicks are within a point.
Then the team started trading baskets for the next several minutes. I mean, we were tied with about 3.5 to play in this basketball game at 109. But then the Knicks defense decided to capitalize on an Indiana turnover, and OG Anunoby was down at the receiving end, making it happen.
Halliburton across the timeline, drives on DiVincenzo, cuts him off, cross-court pass, Neesmith. Up top for Turner and gives it back to Halliburton between the circles. His pass is deflected. Anunoby tries to save it and does. To the basket, slams it home, and the Knicks lead 111
But they couldn't get any separation as the Pacers kept fighting back. And as a matter of fact, we were tied at 1:15 with a little over a minute to play in this one. So the Knicks had possession. Several calls were up for review and challenged by both head coaches in those final couple of minutes. So momentum was halted, which is unfortunate for such a highly contested playoff basketball game. But we had ourselves a tie game, less than a minute to play. Dante DiVincenzo was really, along with Jalen Brunson, carrying the Knicks scoring load in that second half and made a huge three late to put them on top.
Brunson right side, one-on-one with Nembhard. Backing his way in at the top of the key. Shot clock down to 6. DiVincenzo, deep three, left side. That's good! And the Knicks are on top by 3 with 39 seconds to go.
Huge three from Dante DiVincenzo, 118, 115, 25 points for DiVincenzo, 21 of which coming after halftime. Knicks would ultimately put this one away at the free throw line. Brunson making some key ones down the stretch. A perfect 14 of 14 for Jalen at the charity stripe. Knicks as a team shoot 22 of 26 from the free throw line tonight, and they would hang on for a 121-117 victory over these Indiana Pacers. And that was the Knicks' best parts of the game, brought to you by the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, painting and repairing bridges and steel structures around New York for over 50 years. It is time now for tonight's Thriving Player, brought to you by Thrivewell Infusion. And we'll, of course, have to go ahead and give it to Jalen Brunson. 43 points tonight, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and he did it by only making 1 3-point field goal on the entire night. And just to repeat the stat that we told you a little bit earlier, Brunson now 5 consecutive playoff games with 30-plus points and 5 or more assists, joining the likes of Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, the only ones to do that in NBA history. That was tonight's Thriving Player, brought to you by Thrivewell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center, saving lives drip by drip. Still a lot more to do here on the New York Knicks post-game show. When we come back, we'll hear from one of tonight's heroes, Dante DiVincenzo. We'll also hear from the head coach, Tom Thibodeau, plus check out the out-of-town scoreboard around the NBA. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hi, I'm John Starks. We know that every success starts with a solid team. With over 200 vehicles in stock, our all-star team will always put your needs first, making sure you will always get a slam-dunk deal here at John Starks Kia.
It's our Spring Splash Savings Sales Event. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on the all-wheel drive electric Kia EV6s and lease one for only $294 per month. You can even get 0% APR up to 60 months.
John Starks Kia. Stand tall.
Sports fans, take your game day snack to a whole new level. Cibao Meat Products Jamoneta Campesino Salami, the MVP of flavor. Whether you're cheering for touchdowns or slam dunks, this Hispanic-style salami is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Made with the finest ingredients and packed with zesty spices, Jamoneta Campesino Salami delivers a burst of savory goodness in every bite. Score big with Cibao Meat Jamoneta Campesino Salami. Available at your local supermarket. Remember, if you see our logo from the start, put it in your shopping cart. Cibao Meat Products, over half a century of tradition and quality.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Dan Bronson back on the Knicks postgame after a 121-117 Knicks victory over the Indiana Pacers. Dante DiVincenzo outstanding tonight. 21 of his 25 points after halftime. 5 of them three-pointers, and after this one was over, he caught up with our friends on MSG, Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak.
Dante, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the win. Tell us about that sequence. You had a huge second half with 21 points. 1:15 all, 40 seconds to go. Brunson sets you up, and he hit the three. Take us through the play.
There's just so much attention on JB. He makes the right play every single time. Has trust in his teammates, and I'm just being aggressive, letting it fly. So they told me to shoot it whenever I'm open, and that's exactly what I did.
Hey, Dante, you guys played this season for home court advantage. What was the building like at the start of this game and at the end of this game, and how much of an advantage is that when you're trying to close out a game?
It's huge. I think we went down 9 with like 8 or 9 minutes left in the fourth, and you could hear the crowd start to get into it, and we feed off of that. When we started to make our run, we started to get stops and pushing the ball, and that's what really got us going.
Dante, this Indiana team has a completely different feel than the 76ers. What is the difference with the way they play?
They play fast. They're still physical. But, makes and misses, they're pushing up the floor. They have bigs that pop. But, we're just, we're staying true to our identity no matter who we play.
That is Dante DiVincenzo with our friends on MSG. And Indiana, true to their form as well, score the most points in the paint this year in the NBA. They had 64 tonight. However, they also allow the most points in the paint in the NBA, and they allowed 58 of them to the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau's team still up 1-0 after tonight's victory. So let's hear from the Knicks coach meeting with the media.
What changed those last 4 or 5 minutes of the game? McConnell hurt us with dribble penetration. They got out in transition some. We're going to have to do a lot better than we did tonight. The big thing was, I thought the fourth quarter we made some hustle plays and then made some big shots that came off those hustle plays. And so I thought OG triggered some things from the weak side. That was huge. The ball pressure, Dante was great effort on the defensive end the whole night and the big three. But just finding a way to win at the end, and obviously there's a lot for us to work on and clean up. Yeah, and just the bottom line is just whatever we have to do at the end, find a way to win. And so whether it's taking a charge, diving on the floor, coming up with a loose ball, getting a deflection, getting a block shot, and pushing it up the floor. And obviously there was a choppy game for us, so we got to clean things up. I just think the way they work, they've invested a lot into the season, and they put a lot into each and every day. So I think when you make that commitment to each other, you're not going to give in. You're going to keep fighting, and that's the great fight. And we know we're short-handed, so that's our way. Our way is we have to play real hard.
You keep rolling Josh out there. You joke about number 7 now. What is it specifically that gives you? Because not everybody is physically capable of playing for defense. So what is it that gives you the confidence to be able to know that he's still going to be himself?
No. Well, I'm communicating with him during the game. If he needs to come out, he'll come out. Right now, we're shorthanded. That gives us our best chance of winning. So if that means, we'll cut back in practice, we'll cut back in practice. But he'll do a good job of getting himself ready, his recovery, and then, out there we just find a way to win. So if the guy has to play more minutes, play more minutes.
What do you say about the condition that he's in, that he's still able to get those offensive?
I told him playing for Team USA would be beneficial, so he came into camp in great shape.
We've gone 5 questions and not mentioned Tom. We go 5 questions and we haven't mentioned Jalen scoring 40.
Jalen, yeah, Jalen. Yeah, and that's what you love about Jalen. Is just you could go on and on every night, and the thing I love about him is he's all about the team. All he cares about is winning, and he cares about his teammates. And so I think when that happens, he's in the end. What do we need? Do we need a big bucket? Do we need whatever it is that we need? He'll provide. But I think the same could be said for all the guys. That some of those rebounds that Josh came up with were incredible plays. So.
From perspective, Jalen's forced straight 40-plus games to become a team player.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at his entire season, that's what it is. And he knows, with our team, and his teammates do a good job with him, too. He's getting double-teamed, they're getting the ball out of his hands, but they're doing a lot of things to create shots for him, too. So I think if he gets off the ball, there'll be a second and third, effort to keep him moving and going. But I think because of the way he is and the way the other guys are, Josh and Dante and Isaiah, and Mitch has given us everything he has. And they're a team. They function as a team. And I think when you do that, good things come from that.
Coach, obviously Indiana wants to play fast. They got you as cross matches, getting the ball out the basket. What adjustments can you make?
Yeah, and that's the challenge, is to make sure the basket's protected. I like the fact that I thought we had some good fast break opportunities as well. I think we have 20 fast break points, and I think that's important for us.
All right, so that is the head coach of the New York Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, after tonight's 4-point victory. Still more for us to do on the New York Knicks postgame show. We come back, we'll tell you a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Monday in the NBA playoffs. And you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
NBA fans, looking for infusion care that puts you first? Thrivewell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases, autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, Thrivewell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a Thrivewell location near you. Find out more at ThrivewellInfusion.com. Thrivewell, saving lives, drip by drip.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Open Road BMW. Come visit their newly constructed state-of-the-art BMW dealership, conveniently located on Route 1 in Edison, New Jersey. Here you'll find over 7 acres of new, certified, pre-owned BMWs ready for immediate delivery. If you need world-class service, their 50 service bays and the convenience of over 100 customer loaner cars are at your service. For an exceptional BMW buying experience in one of the tri-state's largest BMW facilities, visit OpenRoadBMW.com.
Dan Bronson back on the New York Knicks post-game show after the home team gets the Game 1 win, 121-117 over the Indiana Pacers. It's time now for the Knicks out-of-town scoreboard, which is driven by Nissan. Just one other game tonight in the NBA playoffs, that happening in Denver right now. And the Minnesota Timberwolves once again sticking it to the defending champion Nuggets, 45-28. Minnesota with the lead midway through the second quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, the high man, with 18 points, and Minnesota looking to go up 2-0 on Denver in that best of 7. And that was the Knicks out-of-town scoreboard driven by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. Now stick with MSG through round 2 for pre- and post-game coverage for every game the Knicks play. Watch on MSG, or you can stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. That is all for tonight. Once again, the final score, the Knicks defeat the Indiana Pacers 121-117. Tonight's game was a production of the MSG Radio Network. The coordinating producer is Ray Santiago. Our engineer, Gary Jeffries. Studio operations by Joe Leo and Chantel Rankin. Tonight's statistician was Harry Robinson. Broadcast facilities provided by Magic Radio Productions. The announcers heard on this broadcast are approved and are employees of the MSG Radio Network, which is solely responsible for the broadcast content. Don't forget to join us for our next broadcast. That comes your way on Wednesday, May the 8th, when the Knicks take on these Indiana Pacers. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Our pregame begins at 7:30.